Chapter 2176. Meng Yan and the others are all here? Are you using the speakerphone? Yang Ming listened to the laughter on the other side of the phone, and there was a feeling of happiness in his heart. They actually get along well? And they live under the same roof? If we weren't worried about you and were afraid that something would happen to you, do you think we can be so united? Well, since you have heard it, then let our harem master, Sister Meng Yan, talk to you. After Sun Jie said this, she couldn't help but laugh. Moreover, she did use the speakerphone because Sun Jie saw Chen Meng Yan and the others coming over, so she automatically switched to the speakerphone to let them hear Yang Ming's embarrassed look. She believed that everyone was a little unhappy that Yang Ming could sit back and enjoy the fruits of others' work. Now that she scared him like this, everyone's heart was comfortable. In the future, they would not make things difficult for Yang Ming because of this matter. In fact, Sun Jie did this for the overall consideration. She was a smart person and knew how to deal with this matter. If she didn't make this joke, even if Chen Meng Yan and the others came to pick up the phone, even if they didn't say anything, after everyone knew that Yang Ming was safe and sound, they wouldn't be as happy as before. However, Sun Jie's acting made everyone feel better. It also made Yang Ming suffer some punishment, so he could understand everyone's painstaking efforts. What harem master? Sister Sun Jie, didn't we agree that we would discuss and make decisions together? Chen Meng Yan was a little embarrassed. Although this harem master was an empty title, when Sun Jie said this, Chen Meng Yan's heart suddenly surged with a feeling of happiness. It made her feel that there was nothing wrong with accepting Sun Jie and the others. Especially in front of Yang Ming, Sun Jie also said this. In fact, she indicated to Yang Ming that she was willing to give the position to Chen Meng Yan, and she would not compete in the future. It had to be said that Sun Jie's scheming was the most powerful among these women. She resolved conflicts invisibly. Yang Ming was far away on the other side of the phone. At this moment, he also understood some of Sun Jie's intentions. He was very grateful in his heart. If there was no Sun Jie, Chen Meng Yan and others would not be able to get along so well. Now, with Sun Jie's words, the relationship between the sisters would be better in the future. Chen Meng Yan wouldn't do anything to bully others because of her identity. Yang Ming, I am Meng Yan. Don't listen to Sister Sun Jie's nonsense. We are now taking turns to be in charge. Everyone is responsible for everyone's life for a few days. Sister Sun Jie is responsible for these days. She is the master of the harem. Although Chen Meng Yan said so, she also understood in her heart that she couldn't escape the identity of the real girlfriend. Since she couldn't escape, she might as well make everyone happy. Yang Ming listened to Chen Meng Yan's words and almost burst with joy. Before he left, his biggest unsolved wish was to deal with the relationship between these women properly. He didn't expect that after he left, Dong Jun added fuel to the fire and helped him a lot. Thinking about it, the women were worried about his safety. It was impossible for them to quarrel endlessly. After the quarrel, with Sun Jie's mediation, it wouldn't be a problem for everyone to be united. Thinking of this, Yang Ming's heart was sincerely grateful to Sun Jie. She is really a good helper for me. Yang Ming really wanted to laugh a few times and jump on the ground. Meng Yan, thank you for your understanding. Thank you. I am really grateful. Yang Ming said happily. He was happy from the bottom of his heart. The biggest knot in his heart was untied, so Yang Ming could wait here to fight with Elder Yu without any worries. Grateful. If it weren't because we were afraid that you would be worried about your family's affairs while performing a mission outside, do you think we could let you go so easily? Chen Meng Yan said, if it weren't for Sister Sun Jie's generosity, you would be in trouble. I know that you are the most tolerant. I am very happy to know that you are all very harmonious. I will definitely rush back as soon as possible and meet up with you all. Yang Ming said happily, Meng Yan, you can rest assured. I will not let you all down in my life. Now it's not the problem of you letting us down. It's that we don't want you yet. Chen Meng Yan snorted and said, we are living happily together now. We feel that it is the same with or without you. Ugh. Yang Ming suddenly broke into a sweat. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Meng Yan, don't say that. Aren't you discouraging me by saying this? At that time, I will just fight to the death with the enemy. Anyway, I have nothing to worry about. Don't. I am joking with you. Chen Mengyan was shocked and quickly changed her words. Yang Ming, I am just joking with you. Don't take it seriously. Everyone is looking forward to your return. Actually, I am also joking. Yang Ming smiled. Okay, you lied to me. Chen Mengyan realized that she was deceived by Yang Ming. It seemed that she was still too inexperienced. Her deceiving skills were not as good as Sun Jie's. At least Sun Jie did scare Yang Ming before, but now, she didn't deceive Yang Ming. Hee, this way, I know your intention. Isn't that good? Yang Ming asked instead. Well, I won't talk to you anymore. Let Sister Lin and the others talk to you. Chen Mengyan glanced at the women who were all looking forward to it. She couldn't help but shake her head. Sometimes, as the master of the harem, it was also a bit of a headache. At this time, she had to be magnanimous. She couldn't keep holding the phone, lest others say that she was narrow-minded. On Yang Ming's side, he talked to the women one by one. When he heard their voices, he knew that they got along very well. Yang Ming's heart was very comforted. This feeling made him feel very at ease. Finally, he didn't have to worry about the backyard at home. However, when he was talking to Wang Xiaoyan hinted to Yang Ming, you should call uncle later. He may have something to say to you. Dong Jun's matter was better left to Fang Tian and Yang Ming. After all, it was Yang Ming's own grievances. Even Wang Xiaoyan could only be regarded as an outsider. It wasn't appropriate for her to say anything, so she simply didn't say anything, so as not to interfere with Yang Ming's judgment. Oh. Okay. Although Yang Ming didn't know why Wang Xiaoyan said this, Yang Ming did have the intention to call Fang Tian, so he immediately nodded and agreed. After talking to Chen Mengyan and the others, Yang Ming called his parents, Zhang Bin, and Bao Sanli respectively to tell them that he was fine and not to worry too much. After that, Yang Ming dialed Fang Tian's phone number. Chapter 2177. Hello? At this moment, Fang Tian was like an ordinary retired old man. He stayed at home every day, drinking tea, reading newspapers, listening to the radio and watching TV. He lived a very leisurely life. Fang Tian's neighbors didn't know that this old man who looked very kind was once the famous king of assassins. It's me. Yang Ming said straightforwardly. Yang Ming? Have you completed your mission? Fang Tian's face flashed with joy, but he still asked calmly. No, we are now trapped in a valley. It's just a coincidence that I can call you. Maybe there won't be this opportunity in the future. Yang Ming was not wrong. After all, it was impossible to come to such a far place to make a call in the future. If he often came here, it was easy to be suspected by Elder Yu. It would be inappropriate if Elder Yu found out at that time. Oh. Then make it short. Tell me what happened and what I can help with. Fang Tian was worthy of being one of the people who understood Yang Ming the most. He didn't talk nonsense and said straightforwardly. There is nothing for the time being. I just want to tell you that I am safe. As Yang Ming said, he briefly told Fang Tian what happened after he arrived in Miaojiang. In the end, Yang Ming was silent and said, Master, there is one more thing. I don't know how to tell you. What is it? Fang Tian was slightly stunned. He seemed to have guessed something, but he still asked calmly. It's about my senior, Dong Jun. Yang Ming said, Master, are there any outsiders near you? No, you can say it. Fang Tian was shocked. It turned out that Yang Ming really noticed Dong Jun's problem, but he still asked normally on the surface. Master, I am afraid that the person who has been targeting me over the years is him. As Yang Ming said, he told Fang Tian in detail about what he had encountered over the years and the analysis of Allure. Oh. The person who has been targeting you is him? Fang Tian's tone was still very plain. You guessed it? Not bad, not simple. Master, why don't you look shocked at all? The expression on Yang Ming's face became a little strange. You already knew about this before? I have been guessing, but it has never been confirmed. Fang Tian said, until a while ago, this matter was really confirmed. Oh. You were also guessing before? Yang Ming was a little surprised. I was just guessing before, until a few things happened recently, I was sure. That person is him, my senior brother Dong Jun. I have long suspected it. Fang Tian said, I suspected it earlier than you, but I didn't expect you to suspect it too. Why didn't you tell me before? Before, I only suspected it in my heart, but I didn't want to believe that the person who targeted me was my senior brother Dong Jun. Yang Ming said with a bitter smile, because he was very good to me. He introduced me to the sect, and during my training, he was busy for me. I really didn't want to believe that he was the person who targeted me behind the scenes. However, until a few days ago, I confirmed this matter through Elder Yu's mouth, so you didn't say it? But do you know that even if you didn't say it, there were a few times when you were in danger and almost lost your life? Asked Fang Tian. I know, but I treated these as a kind of training. Although it was dangerous, it could allow me to grow in danger. Since there weren't so many opportunities for me to train, having a person who is always targeting me can also help me grow quickly. Said Yang Ming. Ha 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 ha. Fang Tian laughed after listening to Yang Ming's words. It seemed that Yang Ming's thoughts were exactly the same as his. Although he suspected Dong Jun, the reason why he didn't intervene was that he wanted to train Yang Ming. If the knife wasn't sharpened, it wouldn't be sharp. If the jade wasn't carved, it wouldn't be useful. Only a small sapling that experienced wind and rain could grow strong and eventually become a towering tree. What are you laughing at? Could it be that you think so too? Yang Ming heard Fang Tian's laughter as if he had guessed something. Yes. Fang Tian nodded and said, my thoughts are similar to yours. I want to train you. So, I turned a blind eye to his matters before, but when I knew that he was the one who did these things, I couldn't tolerate it. Then, Master, how are you going to deal with him? Asked Yang Ming after a moment of silence. I'll listen to your opinion. Fang Tian said, you're the person involved. You say what should be done. Master, can I ask how you determined that the person who dealt with me was senior apprentice brother Dong Jun? I heard Sun Jia say before that he sent them a package of photos. I didn't ask carefully at that time, but I think he wouldn't be stupid enough to write his own name when he sent the letter, right? Asked Yang Ming. Me? That's how I found out. As Fang Tian spoke, he explained how he knew about Dong Jun to Yang Ming. In this, the biggest credit was Yang Ming's women. If it weren't for them, Fang Tian couldn't be sure that the person who dealt with Yang Ming was Dong Jun. I didn't expect it to be them. Yang Ming was a little surprised, but he finally understood why the women merged together so quickly. It turned out that they had a common goal and common expectations. They worked together to find the behind-the-scenes mastermind who dealt with him, and they were also looking forward to his return. Thinking of their silent support behind him, Yang Ming's heart was moved. He swore that he would treat them well. It's them. I didn't expect that there would be a very powerful person among them. Fang Tian sighed. When you were there, they didn't show off, but once you left, the power they displayed together wasn't small. But I'm very gratified. My biggest problem is solved. Yang Ming smiled and said, so, it seems that I have to thank senior apprentice brother Dong Jun. If it weren't for him, Meng Yan and the others wouldn't be able to unite so quickly and face a common enemy. Let's not talk about this. Tell me, how do you want to deal with your senior apprentice brother? As Fang Tian spoke until here, his words suddenly became sharp. If you don't want to see him, I will make him disappear. After you come back, there will be no such person. Chapter 2178. This. Yang Ming's heart was very contradictory at this moment. After listening to Fang Tian's words, he felt a little sad. Yang Ming was a person who cherished old friendships. If it wasn't a last resort, Yang Ming wouldn't do anything to hurt his friends. Even if these friends betrayed him, if they could repent, Yang Ming would still choose to forgive them. Tian Donghua, Tian Long, and Wang Shui were the same. Guo Jianchao was also the same. Even Zhou Jiejia and Jing Xiaolu, who had a little misunderstanding with him, had become Yang Ming's women at this moment. Yang Ming also chose to forgive Gu Xinyao, who had bullied Lin Jian. Therefore, if Dong Jun really repented, Yang Ming might give him a chance to turn over a new leaf. Why? Are you hesitating? Asked Fang Tian. Yes, I am indeed hesitant. Yang Ming said, Master, does senior apprentice brother Dong Jun know about this matter? Did you have a showdown with him? Why? Is this very important? Fang Tian asked in return. It's very important. Yang Ming said solemnly, I want to know his attitude. If he has remorse and is willing to admit the mistakes he made in the past and turn over a new leaf, then I think we can give him a chance. Yang Ming, you are still too soft-hearted. Fang Tian sighed and said, You are not a successful assassin, but you are a successful apprentice and a junior apprentice. Is there a difference? An assassin doesn't have to be cold-blooded and ruthless, right? Yang Ming said with a smile, Sometimes, forgiveness is also a correct approach. After all, he is my senior apprentice brother. If I inherit the position of the king of assassins, then he is my junior apprentice brother. For a junior apprentice brother, shouldn't I be more tolerant? However, what I want to know is why he is targeting me. Is there a reason and a reason? If there is a reason that can be explained, then Master, I want to give him a chance. Alright, since that's the case, I'll tell you the whole story. Fang Tian nodded and said, Then, you can make a conclusion after listening to it. If you think he should be forgiven, then forgive him. If you think he shouldn't be forgiven, just tell me. You've grown up, so I'll leave this matter to you. Okay, go ahead. Yang Ming nodded and said. It's like this. As Fang Tian spoke, he told the ins and outs of the matter to Yang Ming in detail. The reason why he said it in detail was to let Yang Ming understand the whole process of why Dong Jun dealt with Yang Ming. This would allow Yang Ming to clearly and objectively judge whether Dong Jun was wrong, how much wrong he was, and how much responsibility he had to bear. Yang Ming quietly listened to Fang Tian's explanation. At the beginning, he heard that Dong Jun had made a move on him because he couldn't inherit the title of King of Assassins because of his appearance. This made Yang Ming very angry. Since you don't want me to join, why did you invite me? However, later on, Yang Ming also understood that Dong Jun couldn't reverse his appearance. Fang Tian had taken a fancy to him. In order not to give himself away, Dong Jun could only let him become Fang Tian's disciple. Of course, when Yang Ming heard about Central and Dr. Benjamin, Yang Ming's eyes widened and his mouth dropped. Central? Dr. Benjamin? Yang Ming's memory of these two names was still fresh. When he was in Europe, Yang Ming had a conflict with the Douglas family in order to save Wang Songshan, so he fought with a person named Jetson. After that, in Las Vegas with Liu Yezi, he once again met a person named Kevin. He also had the invulnerable body of Jean Gang like Jetson. From their mouths, they said two names. One was Central, and the other was Dr. Benjamin. It could be said that even without Dong Jun's matter, Yang Ming and Central had already formed a grudge. Of course, if Central did not continue to trouble Yang Ming would not bother with them. After all, Yang Ming's central stronghold was not under the jurisdiction of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau, and it had nothing to do with his own Island X. Why would Yang Ming worry so much about Central and Dr. Benjamin? However, When Fang Tian talked about the grievances between Dong Jun and Central and Dr. Benjamin's purpose, a burst of anger suddenly surged in Yang Ming's heart. This Dr. Benjamin actually wants to find Suya and Dr. Sun Sikong? It's fine if he wants to find Dr. Sun Sikong. Sun Sikong is a scientist whose scientific and technological means are not inferior to mine. Even if he is found, he will not suffer. But Suya. In this case, Yang Ming can't ignore it. Moreover, Dong Jun also explained his thoughts and purpose. Yang Ming did not have as much hatred for him as before. After all, Dong Jun was also a pitiful person. If Yang Ming was in his shoes, he might do something irrational, and Alice is actually his sister? This made Yang Ming a little dumbfounded. Although Yang Ming had long felt that there was a problem with Alice, he did not associate her with Dong Jun. However, it turned out that they were actually family. Moreover, Dong Jun actually pleaded in front of Fang Tian. Even if Fang Tian could not spare him, he asked Fang Tian to protect his sister. Just this sentence made Yang Ming's heart soften. Yeah, who doesn't want to protect someone? For the freedom of his sister, Dong Jun was willing to die. At this moment, Yang Ming also forgave Dong Jun for what he had done before. If it were me, I might do something to hurt others for Chen Mengyan and the others. This is human nature. Why? Is there a problem? Fang Tian also heard the strangeness in Yang Ming's tone, so he asked. There is a problem. It's more than a problem. Yang Ming smiled bitterly and said, for Central and Dr. Benjamin, this is not the first time I have heard of it. Not only that, but I have also fought with the masters from Central. Oh. Masters from Central? Fang Tian was slightly stunned and asked. Yes. Yang Ming said, Dr. Benjamin is a very powerful person. He can actually turn ordinary people into iron men and become invulnerable. Do you remember when I saved Wang Songshan's father-in-law in Europe? Oh. Is it that time? You fought with Dr. Benjamin's people? Asked Fang Tian. Yes, it's that time. Yang Ming said and told Fang Tian the situation at that time in detail. He was afraid that Wang Xiaoyan and the others would be worried after hearing it. At that time, the Lancer family had been completely destroyed by Yang Ming, so Yang Ming did not say much. But now, for Fang Tian, Yang Ming told the story in detail. Chapter 2179. Back then, when you went to rescue Wang Songshan, it was actually so dangerous? Fang Tian widened his eyes and said to Yang Ming incredulously, I didn't expect you to come up with such a way to lure Jetson into the boiler and burn him directly. Another time, when I was in Las Vegas, I met a person named Kevin. He was also from Central. He was Dr. Benjamin's masterpiece. Like Jetson, he was also invulnerable. That time, it was also extremely dangerous, but I finally killed him. Yang Ming smiled bitterly. Another time, when I was in Las Vegas, I met a person named Kevin. He was also from Central. This time, Yang Ming used his special ability, but Fang Tian didn't know about his special ability. Yang Ming couldn't say too much on the phone. He could only tell Fang Tian about it when he returned. Therefore, Yang Ming only briefly talked about his experience this time and didn't go into too much detail. Fortunately, Fang Tian didn't ask much. He just nodded and said, So, you want to let Dong Jun go? Yes, since he has repented, why don't we give him a chance? Yang Ming said, and Dr. Benjamin also wants to make a move on Suya, so I have no reason to keep him. Anyway, I have decided to be Dr. Benjamin's enemy, so senior brother Dong Jun and I are like brothers in the trenches. I think it's better to cooperate with him. After all, he knows much more about Dr. Benjamin than I do, so it's not impossible to let him join in and deal with Dr. Benjamin together. We can also increase our chances of winning. Hee, I knew you would let him go. Fang Tian sighed with a smile. This is also the reason why I kept him and didn't kill him. Master, you know me well. Yang Ming smiled embarrassedly. Well, I will tell Dong Jun what you mean and let him feel at ease. During this time, collect more information about Dr. Benjamin. After you come back, you will be busy again," said Fong Tian. "Elder Yu over there hasn't finished dealing with it yet, and here we are thinking about dealing with Dr. Benjamin again. Looks like I really can't stay idle," Yang Ming said somewhat helplessly. Sometimes, the plan was really not as fast as changes. Originally, Yang Ming wanted to kill Elder Yu this time. After completing the mission, he would go to Island X to live in seclusion and live a happy life with his girlfriends, but now, it seemed that if he did not get rid of Dr. Benjamin, he would always be a hidden danger. There was a saying, "Don't be afraid of thieves stealing, but be afraid of thieves remembering." Dr. Benjamin had been there to capture Suya. How could Yang Ming tolerate this ticking time bomb being there all the time? Therefore, even without Dong Jun, Yang Ming would still have to deal with Dr. Benjamin. However, it seemed that although Dr. Benjamin was powerful, Yang Ming could still deal with the steel men under him. After all, those steel men had weaknesses, just like Tian Long. As long as he could find their weaknesses, he could deal with them. Unlike Elder Yu, who was invulnerable, and no weakness could be found. Everyone had tried so many ways to deal with Elder Yu, but none of them were effective. You are a character who can't stay idle. A life that is too comfortable is not suitable for you. Always find something to do. Life also has passion. Fong Tian laughed. Well, let's not talk about it first. There are other people waiting to call here. Let's stop here first. I will go back and study Dr. Benjamin in detail, said Yang Ming. Okay, said Fong Tian. Protect your own safety. I understand. Yang Ming smiled and remembered a sentence that Fong Tian said when he first taught him the assassin course. The purpose of an assassin was to complete the goal, not to fight head-on with people. If he couldn't win, he would run away. It was not shameful. As long as there was life, there was hope. If he really fought to his death, not only would he not get a reward, but he would also lose his life in vain. This was also a hint to Yang Ming not to fight head-on with Elder Yu, but sometimes, when things had reached this point, it was no longer Yang Ming himself who had the final say. Hanging up the phone, Yang Ming looked at Sun Sikong strangely, and Sun Sikong also looked at Yang Ming strangely. Because Yang Ming mentioned the name of Central and Dr. Benjamin on the phone, Sun Sikong was very surprised. He didn't expect Yang Ming to have actually fought with them. Yang Ming heard from Fong Tian that Dr. Benjamin was also looking for Dr. Sun Sikong in addition to looking for Suya, so Yang Ming was also very surprised. Yang Ming and Sun Sikong spoke almost at the same time, but Yang Ming smiled and shook his head. Grandpa's son, you should speak first. You are the elder. Well, then I'll speak first. Sun Sikong nodded and said, Yang Ming, you know Dr. Benjamin have fought with his men? Yes. Yang Ming didn't hide it. This time, he explained in more detail to Yang Ming than he did on the phone just now because his glasses were given to him by Dr. Sun Sikong. Sun Sikong knew the effects of the glasses very well, so Yang Ming also explained the special abilities. In the end, he said strangely, Grandpa's son, can't you receive the signal from the glasses? Didn't you know that I fought with Jetson, Kevin, and the others before? I can receive the signal, but I can't receive the specific image. I said that I can only find out the purpose of the things you use the glasses for, such as saving your life, gambling, peeking at the campus bell, or peeking at the delinquent girl taking a bath. Said Sun Sikong. Ahem. Yang Ming's face suddenly turned red from Sun Sikong's words. He had only used the glasses to peek a few times, and they were all his own women. He could see without peeking, but he was a little embarrassed when he was exposed. Huh, bro, I didn't expect you to be so wretched. Lu Yezi laughed. Ugh. Let's not talk about this. Let's talk about the main point first. Yang Ming's face was even redder, but he shook his head to hide it. He ignored Lu Yezi and pretended to be calm. Grandpa's son, what hatred do you have with that Dr. Benjamin? Why does he want to deal with you and Suya? What grudges do you have? I'm a little baffled when it comes to Central that suddenly appeared. Sun Sikong smiled bitterly and began to slowly tell Yang Ming about his grudges with Central. Lu Yezi didn't know some of these things, so Lu Yezi also widened his eyes at this moment and listened attentively to Sun Sikong's narration. Chapter 2180. When I first came here, I was actually with Mo Kongwen to protect little Yezi. But inexplicably, a place called Center appeared, and Dr. Benjamin was targeting me. Sun Sikong recounted his strange experience. When Yezi's father left, he also moved his technology group to an alien planet. Almost nothing was left here, so it was impossible for there to be any remaining enemies. But this Dr. Benjamin really appeared inexplicably, and after he appeared, he began to target me everywhere. I disguised as a scavenger in Songjiang City and had a good relationship with a little girl. Because of me, the little girl was implicated. I don't know how she is now. Sun Sikong sighed and said, I feel a little ashamed when I think about it. Don't you know about her? Yang Ming was stunned and asked strangely, doesn't she also have a pair of glasses? Can't you receive a message from the glasses? Although she also has glasses, her eyes are the first generation of immature products. They don't have the function of transmitting information. Your glasses are the second generation of mature products, so they have this function. Sun Sikong said, I was going to give this pair of glasses to the people around little Yezi, so it can also play a role in protecting little Yezi, but at that time, Mo Kongwen chose you. Do you really think that I have nothing better to do than to set up a stall in front of your school? Ugh. Could it be? When Yang Ming heard this, he suddenly looked at Mo Kongwen in shock. He knew that Mo Kongwen was a god. Could it be that Mo Kongwen had already predicted that I would appear beside Lu Yezi and become his friend? Yes, I have already calculated today's karma before. Mo Kongwen smiled slightly and nodded to Yang Ming, so, this pair of glasses will appear on you. Yang Ming listened to the conversation between the two and suddenly realized. It turned out to be like this. No wonder he felt strange before. Since Sun Sikong was a Ph.D. in science, he was so powerful that he could even invent a flying saucer. Why would he set up a stall? But now, it seemed that there was a reason for his actions. If he hadn't become Lu Yezi's teammate and appeared by Lu Yezi's side in several dangerous missions, he probably wouldn't have given the glasses to him. I see. Yang Ming nodded. But I'm a little curious. Yang Ming, how did you know that the little girl also had a pair of glasses? Could it be that you know her, and you have shared each other's secrets? Sun Sikong said strangely, aren't you afraid that you will leak each other's secrets? Grandpa Sun, the girl you are talking about is called Suya, right? Yang Ming smiled bitterly and said, at first, I thought that you gave me the glasses because of Suya. But now it seems that it's not as simple as I thought. Because of the relationship with Suya? Sun Sikong frowned. Why do you say so? Because Suya is my girlfriend. Yang Ming sweated. She is my first love, it can't be such a coincidence, right? Sun Sikong was also very surprised. So, I actually gave these two glasses to a couple by accident? Ha 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 ha, there must be an effect if there is a cause. This is the so-called karma. Mo Kongwen laughed. Although I didn't calculate it so carefully, in the hexagram, Yang Ming was indeed the most suitable person to get the glasses. Not only because he would become a friend of the little master, but he also met some other conditions. However, those were not important to my original intention at the time, so I didn't continue to calculate. It turned out to be like this. Sun Sikong smiled and said, Suya, are you okay now? Of course, she is okay. Her current identity is the big star, Shuya. Yang Ming didn't have to hide it from Sun Sikong, so he said it truthfully. What? Big star, Shuya? Sun Sikong hadn't spoken yet, but Xia Shui jumped up excitedly. Yang Ming, is what you said true? Shuya is actually Suya? No, I saw Suya when I was at the beach. She and the big star, Shuya, are two completely different people. Her glasses can change her appearance. Yang Ming said and demonstrated it himself. Immediately, Yang Ming's face turned into Lu Yezi's appearance, which shocked Xia Shui. Yeah, this pair of glasses is so powerful. Xia Shui looked at Yang Ming in front of her incredulously and exclaimed, not only can it see through things, but it can also change appearances? Hee, yeah, so, the big star, Suya, is Suya after changing her appearance. Yang Ming nodded and restored his original appearance. So this is the case. If I knew that you could change your appearance, would have let you disguise as Elder Yu's underling and kill him silently. Why bother? Xia Shui complained with some sigh. I also wanted to, but at the beginning, before we fought, who knew that he would be so difficult to deal with? Yang Ming smiled bitterly and said, when we really fought, we were deceived by him once. It was too late to use other tricks. I said that everything has a cause and effect, so don't regret it. Mo Kongwen interrupted with a smile. If you dealt with Elder Yu directly, would you still see us? That's true. Yang Ming nodded and agreed. If you had dealt with Elder Yu directly back then, would Little Master have met Yi? Mr. Yang Ming, would you meet Mr. Lu Tianqi? Mo Kongwen continued. Yeah. You're right. There is a cause and effect. Although Yang Ming didn't quite understand Mo Kongwen's words, he had to admit that his words were still very reasonable. It turns out that Suya is Suya. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I should have asked her for an autograph at that time. Xia Shui said with some regret. Are you her fan? Yang Ming looked at Xia Shui strangely. Yeah, I like her very much. Xia Shui nodded and said, when I was in school, I liked her very much. Then, you can see her every day. If you want an autograph or a group photo, you can be her child's stepmother or she can be your child's aunt. It's up to you, said Yang Ming. N? Xia Shui was slightly stunned, and then her face suddenly turned red. She understood Yang Ming's meaning. When the mission was over, they would leave the valley together. Then, wouldn't she follow Yang Ming to live in seclusion in Island X? At that time, Suya would definitely go with them. Wouldn't they be able to see each other every day? Chapter 2181. Annoying. Xia Shui couldn't help but scold. But thinking of being sisters with a big star, Xia Shui also felt that it was amazing. She just didn't expect that the beautiful girl she met at the beach was the big star, Shuya. If I knew earlier, I would have asked her for an autograph. But when I thought that I could live with Shuya for a long time in the future, why would I need an autograph? Wouldn't it be a joke to others? Thinking of this, Xia Shui closed her mouth again and no longer mentioned this matter. Right, Grandpa's son, you haven't said. How did you become enemies with Central and Dr. Benjamin? Why are they targeting you? Yang Ming smiled at Xia Shui and turned to look at Sun Sikong. I said that I also thought it was very strange. Sun Sikong said, when I was in Songjiang City, I was doing my scientific experiments in peace, but suddenly, I was found by a person named Benjamin. This person was looking for me by name, which made me feel very strange. How does this person know about you? And how does he know that you are in Songjiang City? Asked Yang Ming strangely. I don't know. Sun Sikong smiled bitterly. Although I'm not afraid of him, the technological products I brought this time are limited. I'm not his opponent, so I don't want to have a head-on conflict with them. I just don't know why, but they just keep an eye on me. They have been inquiring about my whereabouts all these years. It seems that they have to find me. This is really strange. Is this Dr. Benjamin crazy? Why does he have to find you for no reason? Yang Ming listened to Sun Sikong's words and felt that it was a bit incredible. Is it because of the glasses you invented? There is this possibility, but it seems that it is not only this possibility because Dr. Benjamin should also be a great scientist, but he just used his energy to study human potential. The steel man you said is his research direction, said Sun Sikong. Research direction? According to my current observation, he seems to be a biochemist, said Yang Ming. Biochemist? Biochemist? Sun Sikong didn't know why he suddenly thought of a person in his mind, but he shook his head and threw this idea away. It seemed unlikely because he should have no contact with Dr. Benjamin, and Dr. Benjamin was a foreigner. Yeah, isn't the steel man a kind of biochemist? Yang Ming said, in fact, Elder, you can basically be regarded as a biochemist because he has exceeded the category of normal people. This is true, said Sun Sikong, but if you want to deal with Dr. Benjamin, maybe I can help. I can help you, but the factor. After all, excluding the factor of strength, scientific knowledge is also a key factor. Thank you, Grandpa Sun. Yang Ming was overjoyed after listening to Sun Sikong's words. With the guidance of this scientific doctor, he had more confidence. Why? If. Okay, then it's a deal. Yang Ming nodded and said, when the things here are over, I will definitely ask you for advice when I deal with Dr. Benjamin. At that time, send a signal to me through your glasses, or let Xiao Yezi send a signal through the jade pendant. I will look for you, said Sun Sikong. Oh. My glasses? They can send signals? How do I do it? Asked Yang Ming. As long as you think about it, I can receive it. Sun Sikong smiled and said, every message from your glasses will be transmitted and processed in my computer, but I can set a keyword reminder. For example, if you think my name 3 times, Sun Sikong, Sun Sikong, Sun Sikong, the computer will give an alarm. As Sun Sikong said this, he took the computer keyboard and entered some commands that Yang Ming couldn't understand. Then, he said, now you can try it. Oh. So magical. Yang Ming closed his eyes and said Sun Sikong's name 3 times in his heart. Sure enough, the computer next to Sun Sikong issued an alarm prompt. On the computer screen, 3 names of Sun Sikong were displayed. It's just a simple information transmission system. Sun Sikong didn't have any proud expression. He just explained casually. Well, I'm done with my phone call. This time, it's Yezi's turn to call, right? Yang Ming was a little embarrassed to hold the phone for so long. Me? Can I make a call? Lu Yezi was slightly stunned. Yes, but, according to the rules set by the old master, little master, you are not allowed to contact your family before you complete the experience, so, we can't do anything about it. Mo Kongwen smiled bitterly and said, of course, if you are not afraid of the old master scolding you, you can try, then, forget it. Lu Yezi shook his head quickly. I won't make this call. Haha. Sun Sikong smiled and said, it's not that serious. When your mission is over, maybe the old master will take the initiative to contact you and let you go back. Go back. Lu Yezi was slightly stunned. He looked at the people around him, and there was a trace of reluctance in his eyes. Lu Yezi, it's okay. Don't be sad. You can think about these things later. You have to go back eventually, but now is not the time to think about this. Yang Ming smiled and said, the most important thing for us now is still in front of us. That's true. Lu Yezi nodded and left the trace of reluctance in his heart behind. Since Yezi can't make a call, then let's go back. We have been here for a long time. Don't let Elder you find anything wrong, said Yang Ming. Okay. Everyone nodded in agreement. Grandpa's son, Mr. Mo, we will leave first. See you after this matter is over. Yang Ming called Sun Sikong Grandpa's son because Sun Sikong was Yang Ming's elder, so he and Lu Yezi were naturally in the same generation. But for Mo Kongwen, he could only call him Mr. Mo. After all, he called Lu Yezi master, so he could only be regarded as the same generation as Yang Ming. Okay, you guys be careful. See you later. Sun Sikong nodded and said. Grandpa's son, Mo Kongwen, goodbye. After Lu Yezi finished speaking, he turned and left with Yang Ming. Chapter 2182. Yang Ming, wait a minute. Sun Sikong walked out of the cave and called out to Yang Ming and others. Oh. Is there anything else? Yang Ming turned around when he heard the voice. He looked at Sun Sikong in the cave strangely. He didn't know what else Sun Sikong wanted. Yang Ming, although I can't help you much, I can help you modify these two battery-powered vehicles. The speed and safety of these battery-powered vehicles are too poor. However, with a simple modification, it can allow you to go back and forth in the valley several times a day. If you really need to contact the outside world, you don't have to drive so many battery-powered vehicles here, said Sun Sikong. Sun Sikong said. Oh. Yang Ming was overjoyed when he heard it. This was a good thing. Although it wasn't of much use for the time being, it was really like what Sun Sikong said. If they still needed to contact the outside world, they could drive here quickly. They didn't have to drive for so many days. This also ensured the secrecy and wouldn't be discovered by Elder Yu. So, he quickly said, that's great. Then, I'll have to trouble Grandpa's son. No problem. Sun Sikong smiled and said, come and do me a favor. It only takes half an hour to complete it. Okay. I will do whatever you say. Yang Ming nodded and said. Next, Sun Sikong took out two small things like circuit boards from the flying saucer and took out some parts that Yang Ming didn't know. He began to modify Yang Ming's electric scooter. Yang Ming, Lu Yezi, and others helped him. Sure enough, as Sun Sikong said, the modification of the electric scooter was completed in half an hour. According to Sun Sikong, a driving computer and a body stabilization system were installed. It was much safer than the previous electric scooter. It's done. Sun Sikong patted the dust on his hands and said to Yang Ming, it's done. But you have to fasten your seatbelt. Although I know that you are invulnerable after eating Jean Gang's voodoo, there is still a pregnant woman in the car. Don't worry, Grandpa Sunday. We will be careful. Yang Ming said with a smile. After Yang Ming and others said goodbye to Sun Sikong and Imo Kongwen again, they got on the battery-powered vehicle. There was no need to explore this place anymore because there were cliffs in front of the valley. If they continued to explore this area, it would inevitably arouse Elder Yu's suspicion. That would not be good. Although no one had found a solution to the Herculean venomous insect during this trip, everyone was very happy. On the way back, their faces were full of smiles. After all, everyone had benefited a lot this time. Lu Tianqi and Chen Xiaojing both contacted their families to report that they were safe, and Yang Ming not only solved his biggest worry, but also solved Dong Jun's problem. Now, he could wholeheartedly deal with Elder Yu. The battery-powered vehicle started slowly. Yang Ming and Lu Yezi each drove one, but the starting speed of the battery-powered vehicle surprised Yang Ming and Lu Yezi. It only took about 5 or 6 seconds to accelerate 100 meters. This was simply more powerful than ordinary cars. Moreover, the battery-powered vehicle had been transformed by the motor, battery, tires, and body computer. It became unusually stable, which made Yang Ming secretly praise Sun Sikong. Sun Sikong is really a powerful person. Although this was not a very amazing technology, and many cars could reach this level, to be able to complete the transformation in half an hour was not something that ordinary people could do. However, thinking about the magic of his own glasses, Yang Ming was relieved. If Sun Sikong did not have such powerful scientific knowledge, it was impossible to make his own pair of glasses that could see through things. After the transformation of the vehicle, the speed was really fast. Soon, they returned to the laboratory. It only took more than an hour for everyone to walk through most of the valley. This was unimaginable before, but now it had become a reality. Moreover, this included some places where the road was not very flat. For the safety of Yi and Xiao Susu, Yang Ming and Lu Yezi did not dare to drive too fast. Otherwise, they would have arrived at the laboratory earlier. So fast. For the first time, I feel that this valley is so small. Lin Dongfang couldn't help but sigh after getting off the car. In the past, because of this battery-powered vehicle, the furthest we could go was half of the valley. But now, it is not a problem. Yeah, Brother Lin, this time even if we can't get out of the valley for a while, we can call home during the holidays. Lu Tianqi said with a sigh. Hee, since we are back, how can we not get out of the valley? Lin Dongfang said with a smile, since the decision has been made, then I will take the vigor voodoo today. In these few days, I will fight with Elder Yu to the death and make a conclusion. This matter is over early, and everyone can go back. Our mission is considered completed. Everyone listened to Lin Dongfang's words. Although they had already expected this result, they were still a little silent at this moment, especially Lu Yezi and Yi. They were a little reluctant. Yi wanted to go back to the outer space with Lu Yezi, which was even further away from here. If she wanted to see Lin Dongfang again, it wouldn't be done overnight. As for the children, they had agreed to stay here to accompany Lin Dongfang, which made Lu Yezi and Yi somewhat reluctant. How about I take it? Yang Ming hesitated and said, anyway, it is the same where we live in seclusion. At most, I will not go to Island X. When the time comes, I will bring my wives here to live in seclusion. This valley is also beautiful, and the 4 seasons are pleasant. I think they and my family will also like this place. No. Lin Dongfang shook his head decisively and said, don't you still have to deal with that Dr. Benjamin? How can you stay here? This. Yang Ming was reminded by Lin Dongfang and remembered that he still had a big thing to do after this mission. He was suddenly silent. Yes, if I take the vigor voodoo, how can I leave here? Since it has already been decided, why are you so hesitant? Lin Dongfang frowned, waved his hand and said, if you still don't agree, then I will secretly take it in the middle of the night. Anyway, you can't see it and won't know. Okay. Hearing Lin Dongfang say this, Yang Ming couldn't dissuade him anymore. He could only nod. The others also did the same. Lin Dongfang would rather take the Herculean venomous insect in front of everyone. If there was any trouble, it could be solved. Otherwise, if he took the Herculean venomous insect in front of everyone, no one would know if there was trouble. Chapter 2183. Therefore, after Lu Yezi, Yi, and others listened to Yang Ming's words, they all nodded and agreed with him. Things were settled like this. Lin Dongfang came to the laboratory and swallowed the complete version of the Herculean voodoo under everyone's gaze. However, when Lin Dongfang just swallowed it, there was no difference. He was the same as usual. There was nothing wrong with him. How do you feel? Asked Lu Tianqi. Not bad. There is a feeling of full strength all over my body, said Lin Dongfang. At present, don't rush to fight with Elder Yu. Let's first test how much attack power this Herculean voodoo can make and how long it can last. Yang Ming said, what do you think? That's right, said Lu Tianqi. We must test how long this Herculean voodoo can stay active in Brother Lin's body and how many super strong attacks it can make. After all, our previous experiments were on animals, and Brother Lin is the first person to take it. However, in this regard, Lu Tianqi and Lan Ling were the authority. Yang Ming and others couldn't intervene in the professional test. He just reminded them. After Lin Dongfang took the Herculean venomous worm, everyone began a long test routine. During the test, they found that if Lin Dongfang didn't consume any stamina, that was to say, not long after he took the Herculean venomous worm, he could continuously attack with super strength 3 times. After that, Lin Dongfang began to become like those tested animals. His whole body was weak. This was the same feeling as the restraining drug of Elder Yu's Jin Gang voodoo. It was similar to the feeling of being weak all over. However, Elder Yu's drug could automatically resolve itself after a few days of rest, but this couldn't. Lin Dongfang rested for 3 or 4 days, but he was still weak all over. This was exactly the same as when he first tested it with animals. the effect was not much different. Therefore, Lu Tianqi and others quickly gave Lin Dongfang the nutrient liquid secreted by the quick cicada voodoo, and Lin Dongfang quickly returned to normal. Since the effect had been tested, what everyone wanted to test next was whether Lin Dongfang would affect the activity of the Herculean voodoo in his body when he didn't use high-intensity strength. However, as the days passed, everyone came to an extremely disappointing conclusion. Although Lin Dongfang didn't use too much strength, the activity of the Herculean venomous insect in his body was also decreasing automatically. This was different from everyone's initial imagination because the animals used for testing could replenish their energy through ordinary food when they didn't use too much strength. They didn't need to take nutrients or other things like that. But Lin Dongfang was different. If Lin Dongfang didn't take the nutrient solution, he could only last 7 days. Moreover, it was a maximum of 7 days. During these 7 days, Lin Dongfang didn't do anything that consumed his physical strength. Even so, he could only last for a few days before he had to take the nutrient solution again. This also broke Lu Yezi and Yi's previous fantasy. In their opinion, if Lin Dongfang didn't do something that consumed a lot of physical strength, it shouldn't affect the activity of the Hercules voodoo. He could keep on not taking the nutrient solution. In this way, they could leave the Medicine Valley with Lin Dongfang, but now it seemed impossible. However, this strange phenomenon also made everyone feel a little strange. Why did the results of the experiments on animals become unsuitable for Lin Dongfang? According to the results of the previous experiments, they were all the same. Only the activity of the Herculean venomous insect was different, which made everyone feel very strange. However, under Lan Ling's analysis, everyone finally found the answer. The reason was that the Herculean venomous insect in Lin Dongfang's body had a conflict with the Jin Gang venomous insect. These two venomous insects were originally nemesis, but Lin Dongfang alone took these two venomous insects. Therefore, even if Lin Dongfang didn't use a lot of strength to consume the activity of the Herculean venomous insect, the activity of the Herculean venomous insect was automatically consumed by the Jin Gang venomous insect in his body. In other words, the relationship between the two was basically like a spear and a shield. Although the reason was found, it was impossible to solve this problem because Lin Dongfang had already taken the Herculean venomous insect. Moreover, even if he didn't take the Jin Gang venomous insect and only took the Herculean venomous insect, everyone was worried about him fighting with Elder Yu. If Elder Yu used the ultra-strong body of the Jin Gang venomous insect to hit Lin Dongfang, and Lin Dongfang had high attack and low defense, then he was likely to be seriously injured. 7 days, although it was not a lot, it was definitely enough. With the speed of the quick cicada venomous insect secretion of the nutrient liquid, it was definitely not enough for 2 people, but it was more than enough for Lin Dongfang alone. Lin Dongfang took the nutrient liquid once every 2 days, so that the activity of the Herculean venomous insect in his body could be maintained at the best. The experiment was completed. The effect of the complete version of the Herculean venomous insect was more than 10 times stronger than the previous incomplete version of the Herculean venomous insect. It was really powerful. At this moment, Lin Dongfang could punch a big hole in the mountain wall with one punch. This was absolutely impossible to do in the past. In the following time, everyone began to wait for Elder Yu to come again. Finally, 3 days later, the sound of a helicopter sounded in the sky above the Medicine Valley again. A trace of excitement flashed in everyone's eyes at the same time. Everyone had been waiting for this moment for several days. This time, they were going to test the effect of the Herculean venomous insect. However, the person who came this time was still the confidant of Elder Yu. He came to deliver food to Yang Ming and the others. It was the same as every time. After the helicopter stopped in the Medicine Valley, he moved the food and daily necessities from the helicopter and prepared to leave by plane. He would not say a word to Yang Ming and the others. After all, they had nothing to say unless Yang Ming and the others took the initiative to talk to him. Wait a minute. This time, Yang Ming once again stopped Elder Yu's confidant. What's the matter? Asked Elder Yu's confidant. You go back and tell Elder Yu that the initial stage cultivation of the gene gang venomous insect that he wanted has been cultivated. He can add the catalytic enzyme now, said Yang Ming. Cultivated it? The confidant was slightly taken aback, and a look of suspicion flashed across his face. After all, it was only a few days ago. He was deceived once last time. This time, he could not guarantee that Yang Ming was lying again. Of course, it's up to you to believe it or not. You can choose not to believe it. Yang Ming saw the suspicion on the confidant's face and just said faintly. Chapter 2184. Okay, I will convey it truthfully. The confidant's face hesitated slightly, but he finally nodded and agreed. After all, even if Yang Ming was lying, he had to convey it truthfully. What if it was not a lie? If Yang Ming and the others really developed the initial stage cultivation of gene gang voodoo, then if he did not report it, the matter would be really big. Because he had to convey Yang Ming's words, the confidant did not dare to neglect. After leaving the food and daily necessities, he directly boarded the helicopter and quickly flew to Elder Yu's residence. Because there was no signal in the Medicine Valley, he could not use the intercom system in the helicopter to get in touch with Elder Yu. He could only go back and inform in person. When this person appeared in Elder Yu's room again, Yang Ming watched their every move without blinking. Last time, Yang Ming suffered a big loss because he neglected a small detail. This time, he would not let any of Elder Yu's inexplicable actions go. You're back. What are Yang Ming and the others doing? Elder Yu saw his confidant come back and nodded to him. Reporting to Elder Yu, when I went to deliver the food and daily necessities, Yang Ming and the others were barbecuing in the Medicine Valley. They seemed to be having an open-air party to celebrate something. But when I was about to leave, Yang Ming stopped me and asked me to tell you after I came back that they developed the initial stage cultivation of gene gang voodoo. He asked you to add the catalytic enzyme. As soon as this confidant came back, he conveyed what Yang Ming said to Elder Yu. Oh. It's not slow. It's quite fast. Elder Yu frowned. How credible do you think it is this time? This. Elder Yu, I really don't know because this time, Yang Ming's expression was not much different from when Lu Tianqi and the others told me last time. I can't say whether they have really researched it, or they have come up with a way to deal with you and lure you there. The confidant hesitated and said. Looks like I can only go and take a look again. But no matter what tricks they play, I'm not afraid of them. The right-hand elder sneered and said, a clown will always be a clown. Yang Ming and the others are not to be feared now. Under my control, they can't play any new tricks. Yes, Elder Yu is wise. Although the confidant didn't know why Elder Yu had so much confidence, it could be seen from the last incident that Elder Yu still had a lot of trump cards. Alright, check the plane and refuel it. I'll go look for Yang Ming personally. Elder Yu said, although I have become invulnerable now, if the helicopter explodes or crashes, I will still be in trouble. I still have to walk a long way. After that confidant listened to Elder Yu's words, he couldn't help but secretly click his tongue. When the helicopter crashed or exploded, the first thing that other people thought about was how to escape and save their lives, but Elder Yu thought about walking a long way. This was really amazing. After the helicopter was ready, Elder Yu personally drove the helicopter to the Medicine Valley again. Like last time, the helicopter slowly stopped in the open space of the Medicine Valley, and Elder Yu got off the helicopter again. However, what made Elder Yu feel strange was that this time, no one came out to greet him. Last time, Yang Ming and the others were standing around, ready for battle. But this time, there was no one. This made Elder Yu a little puzzled. What kind of show is this? They asked me to come, but there is no one. Could it be that these people are resentful about the last incident, so they deliberately released fake news to mess with me? Moreover, Yang Ming also said, of course, it's up to you to believe it or not. You can choose not to believe it. Therefore, when Elder Yu thought of this sentence, he felt that Yang Ming was doing it deliberately. But since he was here, Elder Yu had no reason to turn around and leave. He could only get off the helicopter and walk in the direction of the laboratory. In his opinion, the best situation was that Yang Ming and the others were busy studying Jin Ganggu, and they had no time to come out and pick him up. However, when he saw the open space not far away, and the charcoal fire that had not been completely extinguished, he knew that his idea was impossible. Obviously, these people had just had a picnic. How could they be studying Jin Ganggu? However, this also made Elder Yu even more puzzled. What does Yang Ming want to do? With his understanding of Yang Ming, it was impossible for Yang Ming to find him for no reason, and he even used the excuse that the initial stage of the Jin Ganggu had been cultivated. This was simply unbelievable. However, just when Elder Yu was puzzled, a person walked out from the direction of the research room. This person was actually Lin Dongfang. After seeing Lin Dongfang, Elder Yu couldn't help but frown. According to his calculation, after Lin Dongfang was inflicted with the quick cicada goo, even if he did not become an idiot, he should become forgetful and have an incomplete memory. But now, it seemed that Lin Dongfang was still very normal. Could it be that the quick cicada goo had not taken effect yet? Elder Yu was not clear about the specific situation. After all, this was the first time he inflicted the quick cicada goo on others. He also learned the growth cycle of the quick cicada goo from the records in books. There might be some differences between different people. Why is it you? I heard from Yang Ming that the initial stage of the Jin Ganggu has been cultivated, and only the catalytic enzyme is left, asked Elder Yu. Yes, it is indeed completed. You come with me. Lin Dongfang nodded and said blankly. Okay. Elder Yu felt that things were very strange because this time, the attitude of Yang Ming and others towards him was completely different from the last time. Moreover, this time, Yang Ming did not appear at all, but Lin Dongfang appeared. Therefore, this made Elder Yu feel that things seemed to be a bit strange and wrong, but he couldn't tell exactly what was wrong. Moreover, he faintly felt that this time, Lin Dongfang's attitude towards him should be normal. Because every time Elder Yu came here to personally ask about the progress, Lin Dongfang would always answer him with this kind of expressionless face. No. Although there was progress this time, there should be no problem if his expression did not change. After all, in Lin Dongfang's heart, there was resentment towards Elder Yu. At that time, Elder Yu gave Lin Dongfang a quick cicada voodoo that couldn't be removed. Although Lin Dongfang didn't talk about this matter recently, there was definitely a grudge in his heart, so it was understandable that he was indifferent to Elder Yu. Therefore, Elder Yu pondered for a while and walked over quickly. He followed behind Lin Dongfang and walked in the direction of the laboratory with him. Chapter 2185. However, just as Elder Yu had just caught up with Lin Dongfang's pace, Lin Dongfang suddenly turned around and smashed his fist at Elder Yu's body. For Lin Dongfang's sudden attack, Elder Yu's face flashed a trace of horror. He didn't expect that Lin Dongfang alone would dare to attack him. As a matter of fact, last time, Yang Ming, Lin Dongfang, and Lu Yezi were not Elder Yu's opponent. This time, Lin Dongfang dared to attack alone? Could it be that he ate a leopard's guts? However, although Elder Yu saw Lin Dongfang turn around and punch, he was not a martial arts master after all, and he was not as agile as Yang Ming. After all, he had not received professional training. He only relied on the powerful Jin Gang's unbreakable body to fight against the enemy. But when it came to Qinggong, he was not good enough. Therefore, even if Elder Yu saw Lin Dongfang make a move, he couldn't avoid it. His body took Lin Dongfang's punch abruptly. Originally, Elder Yu didn't take it seriously at all. In his opinion, how powerful could Lin Dongfang's punch be? It was just an incomplete version of the vigor voodoo. There was nothing to be afraid of. Never mind that Lin Dongfang was alone. Last time, even if Yang Ming and the other two attacked him together, it was impossible to hurt him even a little bit. However, when Lin Dongfang's fist fell on Elder Yu's chest, Elder Yu's expression was suddenly shocked. With a loud bang, the horrified expression on Elder Yu's face turned into a puzzled look. How is it possible? How can Lin Dongfang make such a powerful punch? The power generated by this punch was more than 10 times more than the power generated by the combined attack of Yang Ming and the other two. This simply made Elder Yu somewhat dare not believe it. Boom! Without waiting for Elder Yu to react, just when he was extremely shocked, Lin Dongfang made a move again. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Lin Dongfang didn't want to miss it. Elder Yu was right in front of him. How could there be such a good opportunity in the future? Feeling the huge power generated by this punch, Elder Yu finally believed that this punch was really made by Lin Dongfang, but his face flashed a trace of confusion. Soon, it turned into a kind of understanding. Just when Elder Yu wanted to dodge and say something, Lin Dongfang's third punch had already come. For these 3 punches, Lin Dongfang had already grasped the time. He punched 3 punches in a flash, not giving Elder Yu a chance to dodge. In Lin Dongfang's opinion, success or failure depended on this one move. If Elder Yu was prepared, even if he succeeded in the first punch, the second and third punches would definitely not be able to hit Elder Yu. After all, he didn't have a powerful light body technique like Yang Ming. It was impossible to easily get close to Elder Yu, who was vigilant. Therefore, in these 3 punches, the powerful force generated by the Hercules voodoo smashed on Elder Yu's body. Elder Yu's whole body was like a kite with a broken string, flying away with a whoosh. Elder Yu understood. He finally knew why Lin Dongfang was so confident and dared to make a move on him. Because the force that hit his body was definitely not the force that the ordinary simplified version of the Hercules voodoo could produce. This seemed to be close to the complete version of the Hercules voodoo. It turned out that they had successfully refined the complete version of the Hercules voodoo. This time, they called him here just to deal with him. It was not because they had successfully cultivated the initial stage of the Jin Gang voodoo. Although Elder Yu had long thought that this time it might be Yang Ming's trick, he did not expect that in less than a month, they had actually successfully refined the complete version of the Hercules voodoo. If they put the spirit of refining the Hercules voodoo into refining the Jin Gang voodoo, it was estimated that the initial stage of the Jin Gang voodoo could really be refined. Elder Yu's heart was full of grievance and anger. These people, in the medicinal garden and laboratory provided by him, did not work for him, but developed their own Hercules voodoo. The purpose was to deal with him. However, when Elder Yu figured this out, everything had already become an established fact. Elder Yu spat out a mouthful of blood. His body flew all the way to the previous helicopter before landing heavily on the ground. Then, he did not move at all. It could be seen how powerful these 3 punches were. If Elder Yu had known this earlier, he would have used the antidote powder of the Jin Gang voodoo at the beginning and made Lin Dongfang faint on the ground. Then, this would not have happened. However, Elder Yu did not have the ability to predict. In his opinion, Yang Ming and the others had suffered a loss last time, so it was impossible for them to suffer a loss again so quickly. As a result, this time, he was the one who suffered a loss. Who? Lin Dongfang also breathed a sigh of relief. These 3 punches all hit Elder Yu's body. At this time, Yang Ming, Lu Yezi, and others also walked out of the laboratory. They looked at Elder Yu, who fell motionless on the ground not far away, and a relaxed smile appeared on their faces. It's done. Yang Ming looked at Lin Dongfang with some excitement. He did not expect it to be so easy. All 3 punches hit Elder Yu. The Herculean voodoo was the nemesis of the Jin Gang voodoo. Elder Yu was hit by 3 punches of the Herculean voodoo. If he could survive, it would be strange. So, when he saw Elder Yu on the ground in the distance, Yang Ming was really happy. However, things were much easier than Yang Ming thought. Even he did not expect that Lin Dongfang would hit Elder Yu with all 3 punches. Elder Yu did not even have the chance to fight back, and he was sent flying. Is it over? Lu Yezi also looked at the scene in front of him in disbelief. After all, everyone had prepared for a long time to deal with Elder Yu. They had traveled over mountains and rivers to come to the Medicine Valley. They had gone through a lot of hardships to formulate the Herculean voodoo and the Jean Gang voodoo. However, the final result was only 3 punches. This kind of contrast before and after would make anyone feel incredible. I didn't expect it to be so easy. Lin Dongfang smiled bitterly and slumped to the ground. The side effects of the Herculean voodoo immediately appeared. After Lin Dongfang threw 3 punches, he could not even hold on for a quarter of an hour before he died. He had no trace of strength in his body. His body seemed to have no vitality at all. His whole person became lifeless. However, everyone was not too nervous. Although Lin Dongfang could not move in this state, he could still hold on for a while. It would not bring any danger to his life. Chapter 2186. Where is the nutrient solution? Lu Yezi just turned his head and asked a question, but he heard Yang Ming exclaim. Not good. As Yang Ming's words just fell, Elder Yu, who was on the ground not far away, moved at this moment. Under everyone's surprised gaze, Elder Yu got up from the ground. Although his mouth was full of blood, he really stood up. Previously, everyone thought that Elder Yu was definitely going to die this time. After all, the Herculean voodoo was the nemesis of the Vajra voodoo. This thought was deeply rooted in everyone's heart. However, when Elder Yu stood up again, everyone found that the Herculean voodoo's 3 consecutive high-intensity attacks had no effect on Elder Yu. You didn't die? Yang Ming stared at Elder Yu not far away and asked nervously. Die? Do you think that you can kill me with just a few moves? Elder Yu sneered and snorted. You overestimate yourself. Don't think that I will die just because I spat out a mouthful of blood. I just suffered a slight internal injury. Although the power of the vigor voodoo is great, but, hee. Yezi, let's go together. Don't listen to his nonsense. Yang Ming had suffered a loss before, so he subconsciously thought that Elder Yu was just lying to him. How could Yang Ming give him this opportunity? Yang Ming didn't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to kill him while he was down. Lu Yezi understood and rushed toward Elder Yu with Yang Ming. The two of them almost punched at the same time and hit Elder Yu. Elder Yu didn't seem to care. He waved his hand twice and blocked the attacks of Yang Ming and Lu Yezi. Moreover, there was a very disdainful expression on his face. You dare to attack me with just a few moves? It's ridiculous. Are you really okay? Feeling that Elder Yu really didn't seem to be injured, this made Yang Ming very depressed. Originally, Yang Ming thought that Elder Yu was just stalling for time, but now that he had fought with him personally, Yang Ming knew that Elder Yu was really not injured. I've already said it before. How could you possibly kill me with your meager skills? You really overestimate yourself. Elder Yu said proudly. At this time, Lin Dongfang also took the nutrient solution and his strength immediately returned to normal. He rushed towards the right-hand elder again. He also saw that Elder Yu was fine, so he chose to attack again. Elder Yu looked at Lin Dongfang, who was rushing over, and couldn't help but sneer and said, Just now, I was caught off guard and your punches injured my internal organs. But now, do you think that you can do anything to me when I am prepared? Lin Dongfang didn't listen to what Elder Yu said. He still rushed towards Elder Yu regardless. This was everyone's hope. He had to persevere. Yang Ming and Lu Yezi saw this scene and dodged at the same time. As for Lin Dongfang, he rushed straight towards Elder Yu. Elder Yu, on the other hand, acted as if he didn't see it at all. He stood on the spot and let Lin Dongfang's fist hit him. But this time, Elder Yu didn't move. He wasn't sent flying by Lin Dongfang. He didn't even move a step. Boom! Boom! Lin Dongfang's first punch didn't work, so he threw 2 more punches in succession. Unfortunately, Elder Yu didn't seem to be afraid of being hit at all. These 3 punches, none of them could hurt Elder Yu a single bit. Until this moment, everyone finally believed Elder Yu's words. It turned out that he was really not afraid of Lin Dongfang's attack, and he was really fine. I was caught off guard before, so I was hit by you and fell to the ground. I was dizzy from the fall, but you look so stupid. Did you think I was dead? Elder Yu looked at Yang Ming and others sarcastically and said, "Don't force me to use the nemesis of Jin Gang voodoo again. You won't be able to get out of bed for 3 days." On the faces of Yang Ming, Lu Yezi, Lin Dongfang, and others, there was deep unwillingness, but there was nothing they could do. After all, the vigor voodoo that everyone had high hopes for was useless. As a result, everyone felt a little discouraged. Originally, he thought that the Herculean venomous worm could completely defeat the Vajra venomous worm. But now, it seemed that Elder Yu was completely fine. His own people had taken the Herculean venomous worm for no reason and would never be able to leave the vicinity of the Medicine Valley. After all, no one could accept this kind of psychological difference. Why? Isn't the Herculean strength goo the nemesis of Jin Gang voodoo? Why is it ineffective against you? Yang Ming asked with some unwillingness. Even if they lost, they had to figure out the reason. They couldn't lose without knowing why, right? You want to know? Elder Yu smiled and said, "If you want to know, I might as well tell you." "What's the reason?" asked Yang Ming. "The reason? In fact, it's very simple." Elder Yu sneered and said, "If I'm not wrong, Lin Dongfang took the complete version of the Herculean strength goo, right?" "Yes, it is because you have taken the complete version of the Hercules voodoo, so I want to ask, what is the problem that this Hercules voodoo has no effect on you?" Yang Ming asked. "It's because before he took the Herculean strength goo, he also took the Jin Gang voodoo. The Jin Gang voodoo and the Herculean strength goo are two kinds of voodoo that restrain each other. Although the Herculean strength goo is better, there is the Jin Gang voodoo in his body. Even if he took the complete version of the Herculean strength goo, it is absolutely impossible to exert the effect of the Herculean strength goo to its peak state. Because, there will always be a part of the Herculean strength goo that is restrained by the Jin Gang voodoo. As a result, do you think he will still be my opponent?" It turned out to be like this. Yang Ming suddenly realized. Lan Ling also mentioned a similar problem before, but at that time, he considered why Lin Dongfang couldn't persist for too long without taking the nutrient solution without activating the activity of the Herculean strength goo. He didn't expect that the effect of the Herculean strength goo would also be affected by the Jin Gang voodoo. I advise you to spend your energy on refining the Jin Gang voodoo. Don't waste your time. If I were you, I would have been beaten to death. You are still tirelessly trying again and again. You really have perseverance. Elder Yu shook his head and looked at Yang Ming and others with a contemptuous look. However, Elder Yu, you told us the reason for this matter. Aren't you afraid that after we know the reason, we will let a person who has not taken the Jin Gang voodoo take the Herculean strength goo? Yang Ming asked with some doubts and puzzlement. Chapter 2187. This was what Yang Ming found most inconceivable. It was reasonable to say that Elder Yu was not a fool. Not only was he not a fool, but he was also a very cautious and cunning person. As a result, Yang Ming was repeatedly deceived. But this time, Elder Yu told the reason why Lin Dongfang's Herculean strength goo was ineffective against his Jin Gang goo. Didn't that mean that it was equivalent to revealing his weakness? This approach, either Elder Yu had other trump cards, or he had a problem with his IQ. However, the possibility of Elder Yu having a problem with his IQ was almost zero. From various signs, this guy was not very smart, but he should be very smart. Therefore, Yang Ming couldn't help but ask directly. Since I told you the reason, of course, I am not afraid. Elder Yu seemed to have known that Yang Ming would ask this question. He raised his eyebrows slightly and said faintly, not to mention Lin Dongfang's Hercules voodoo that is restrained by Vajra voodoo, even the complete version of Hercules voodoo without any restraint has no effect on me. So I advise you not to waste your effort. If you have the time, quickly help me cultivate the initial stage Jin Gang goo. Why? Yang Ming asked puzzledly, isn't Herculean strength goo the nemesis of Jin Gang goo? I said before that the Jin Gang goo in my body is actually not Jin Gang goo. It has been refined into an evil goo by me. At first, it was an incomplete version of Jin Gang goo, but after the sacrificial refinement with my blood, the incomplete Jin Gang goo in my body has become the same effect as the complete version of Jin Gang goo. Moreover, it has now surpassed the complete version of Jin Gang goo. Elder Yu said, therefore, even if it is Herculean strength goo, it is ineffective against the Jin Gang goo in my body. This has already surpassed the existence of Jin Gang goo, and it has become a new super Jin Gang goo. Oh. Then, in that case, why do you want us to refine the Jin Gang goo for you? The Jin Gang goo in your body has become a super Jin Gang goo, then why do you need a weaker Jin Gang goo than you? Yang Ming was even more puzzled by Elder Yu's answer. You are not wrong, but my incomplete Jin Gang goo has a shortcoming. It must be refined with blood. This is too troublesome. If I don't use blood for sacrificial refinement for a period of time, it will be ineffective. Therefore, I want the complete version of Jin Gang goo. With the complete version of Jin Gang goo, I can integrate the two together and become a real super Jin Gang goo. At that time, it will be a true perfect state. Elder Yu did not hide it and told the reason to Yang Ming. In fact, Elder Yu was not afraid of Yang Ming. Now, although his super Jin Gang goo was a little troublesome, he could defeat Yang Ming and others. Even if these people ate the complete version of Herculean strength goo, they could not do anything to him, so Elder Yu did not care to tell the truth to Yang Ming. So that's the case. Yang Ming suddenly realized. At the same time, there was some bitterness in his words. Once again, he fought with Elder Yu full of hope, but the result was still a failure. Could it be that the efforts of us and others really have no effect? Yang Ming's heart was full of deep unwillingness, but there was no way. Jin Gang goo, Elder Yu had a way to break it, so it was not dangerous to him. However, the only Herculean strength goo that everyone had high hopes for was not effective. At this moment, Elder Yu was simply an invulnerable monster. Alright, I should go now. I hope that the next time you call me, you have really successfully refined the initial stage of Jin Gang goo. Otherwise, my patience is limited. Don't think that my repeated tolerance is benevolence. The reason why I let you go is because you are not a threat to me. If I didn't expect you to refine the Jin Gang goo for me, do you think you can still live until now? Elder Yu snorted and said, be smart, don't always do stupid things. After speaking, Elder Yu turned around and strode to the helicopter. He started the helicopter's engine and left with a roar. Of course, Elder Yu naturally thought that it was impossible for Yang Ming and others to successfully refine the initial stage of Jin Gang goo, so he left without looking. What he didn't know was that in fact, the initial stage of Jin Gang goo was not difficult for Yang Ming and others at all. If they wanted to refine it, with the cooperation of Yang Ming's glasses, they could succeed in one try. However, no one went to tell Elder Yu about this, because everyone was naturally unwilling to give the initial stage of Jin Gang goo to Elder Yu. In this way, Elder Yu left the Medicine Valley under everyone's disappointed and helpless gazes. Sigh. Yang Ming sighed deeply and sat on the ground helplessly. His eyes were full of decadence. It still doesn't work. If this doesn't work, let's change it. We can always think of a way. Lu Yezi comforted, bro, although Elder Yu is powerful, we shouldn't be discouraged. We should be braver with every setback. Yang Ming smiled bitterly. Although he said so, sometimes it was one thing to say, and it was another thing to really do it. The complete version of the Hercules goo was everyone's only hope. In everyone's opinion, the Hercules goo could definitely beat the Jin Gang goo. Therefore, after everyone made the decision to let Lin Dongfang take this Hercules goo, they thought about the problem of what to do if Lin Dongfang stayed in West Star Mountain Village in the future. They never thought that they would actually fail to attack Elder Yu. Now, Lin Dongfang couldn't leave the Medicine Valley, but everyone couldn't leave the Medicine Valley either. Everything returned to the starting point from the end, which made everyone somewhat unable to accept it. How to change it? Now that all the methods have been used, even the Hercules Gu is not Elder Yu's opponent. What else can we do? Yang Ming was really discouraged. He had never been so desperate, but now, he really had a feeling of powerlessness. He really didn't know what else to do and what to do. Because all the methods that should be used had been used. Elder Yu was safe and sound, but one of his own people had to stay in the Medicine Valley forever and couldn't leave. Although there were no casualties, this loss was not heavy. At least in Yang Ming's heart, it was a little uncomfortable. Everyone was silent after listening to Yang Ming's words. After all, what Yang Ming said was reasonable, but no one said anything. After all, the more they said, the more depressed they would be. Don't think too much. Go back and rest. Everyone is tired enough. If there is anything, let's talk about it after resting. Lan Ling walked over and comforted Yang Ming. Chapter 2188. Indeed, it's time to have a good rest. Yang Ming was really a little tired. He smiled bitterly at Lan Ling, stood up, and walked to his house with Xia Shui. As for Lin Dongfang, after he gave him a nutrient solution, he went to rest with Lu Yezi. The others also dispersed, leaving only the empty space and some ashes left behind from the barbecue before. When they were barbecuing just a moment ago, everyone's mood was still happy and full of hope, but now, the hope had turned into disappointment. In the next few days, Yang Ming's mood was very low and depressed. He didn't say anything when he was eating. After he finished eating, he went back to his room to rest. Of course, the situation of the others was not good. Only Feng Tianlong and Xiao Susu were somewhat optimistic because they were the same everywhere. Xiao Susu treated every day as her last day, so she didn't have as much burden in her heart as Yang Ming. Xia Shui and Lan Ling saw that Yang Ming was so depressed. Although they understood his mood at the moment, they also wanted him to cheer up again. After all, Yang Ming was everyone's backbone. If Yang Ming lost confidence, then the others would be even more depressed. Therefore, Xia Shui and Lan Ling started to persuade Yang Ming in different ways every day. In fact, Yang Ming had already thought it through in his heart. The reason why he was still so depressed was that he couldn't find the motivation to cheer himself up. If there were other ways to deal with Elder Yu now, perhaps Yang Ming would stand up and continue to work hard without saying anything. However, there was no such thing. Yang Ming, why don't I contact Grandma again? Lan Ling suddenly thought of a problem. That was, since the Herculean voodoo was ineffective against Elder Yu's Jin Gang voodoo, then did Grandma have a way? After all, Grandma had more experience than her. If she asked, she might find a solution. Oh. After Yang Ming heard Lan Ling's words, his eyes suddenly lit up. Yeah, why didn't I think of it before? Although they didn't have a solution, Lan Ling's grandmother was an authority in this area. Perhaps if they explained the situation to Lan Ling's grandmother, she might have a solution. Thinking of this, Yang Ming's eyes lit up. That's a good idea. Why didn't I think of it before? I just had a flash of inspiration. I was thinking about how to persuade you. As I thought about it, I remembered how Grandma would comfort me when I was feeling down when I was young. So I thought of Grandma. I thought that maybe she would have a way. Lan Ling said with some embarrassment, I didn't think about this before. Since that's the case, what are we waiting for? Let's call your grandma and ask her if she has a good idea. Since Yang Ming found a way, he naturally couldn't hold back and wanted to leave now. Sure. Lan Ling saw that Yang Ming cheered up and was very happy. Xia Shui, who was on the side, finally breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed that Yang Ming had regained his previous confidence. Although they didn't know if Lan Ling's grandmother would have a solution, it seemed that this was a good thing for now. Yang Ming was a person who acted swiftly. Since he thought of a solution, he immediately put it into action. He directly gathered Lin Dongfang, Lu Tianqi, Lu Yezi, Feng Tianlong, and the others and told them about Lan Ling's proposal. After everyone heard it, they were all delighted. After all, what Yang Ming said might really be a solution. Everyone was immersed in a depressed and helpless mood these days. After listening to Yang Ming's words, they were all refreshed. But this time, I don't want to go with too many people. I think only Lan Ling and I will go and make a call. You guys stay here. I am afraid that when Elder Yu sends someone and finds that we are not here, he will be suspicious. Yang Ming suggested. Although no one stayed in the research room when they left several times before, it was because Yang Ming and others had no ulterior motives. They simply drove the battery car to look for medicinal materials. Even if Elder Yu found out, they could completely excuse that they were looking for medicinal materials to refine Jin Gang voodoo. It would not bring any consequences to them at all. But now it was different. Yang Ming was going to Sun Sikong's place to make a call. If Elder Yu found there, maybe Elder Yu would directly destroy the flying saucer and then destroy the equipment in the cave. That would be a big loss. Therefore, Yang Ming had to be careful. Everyone agreed with Yang Ming's proposal. After all, everyone had just talked to their families not long ago. There was no need to go again. Therefore, this time, Yang Ming, Lan Ling, and Xia Shui drove the battery car to find Sun Sikong to make a call. The others would stay here as usual. Even if Elder Yu sent someone and saw that there were people here, he would not think much even if Yang Ming was not here. Since the decision was made, there was no delay. Yang Ming drove the battery car, carrying Xia Shui and Lan Ling, and drove to the cave where Sun Sikong was. The modified battery car's speed was amazing. This time, there was no pregnant woman in the car. Yang Ming naturally did not need to be so careful when driving, and the speed was much faster. Therefore, Yang Ming and the other two quickly arrived near the cave where Sun Sikong parked the flying saucer. This time, the time taken was much less than the time taken to go back last time. For the appearance of Yang Ming and the others, Sun Sikong seemed to have already known. Before Yang Ming approached, the stone door of the cave slowly rose. Yang Ming was not surprised at this scene. After all, Sun Sikong said that he could receive the information sent by the glasses. Although he could not see the specific image, Yang Ming saw the flying saucer and this information would be transmitted. What's more, Sun Sikong had been monitoring the movement outside the cave. If an electric car came here, it was impossible for them not to notice it. Yang Ming, it hasn't been long. Why are you here again? Sun Sikong was a little puzzled by Yang Ming's appearance again. Mo Kongwen also appeared at the entrance of the cave at this time. He looked at Yang Ming and said, "I'm afraid you returned without any results, right?" Yang Ming was slightly startled, and then he thought of Mo Kongwen's powerful fortune-telling ability, so he smiled bitterly and said, "Mr. Mo is really a fortune-teller. This time, I indeed returned without any results. Your Herculean voodoo has no effect?" Sun Sikong asked with some surprise. "Grandpa's son, can't you receive the information sent by my glasses?" Yang Ming was slightly startled. Chapter 2189. You didn't use the special ability of the glasses. How can I receive it? Sun Sikong shook his head and said, "What's more, now I completely trust you. If you didn't send the early warning signal, I wouldn't analyze the signal sent by your glasses. It turns out to be like this." Yang Ming nodded and said, "To be honest with Grandpa's son, the vigor voodoo didn't work as expected. We failed." "It doesn't matter if you failed. Failure is the mother of success." Sun Sikong didn't feel that there was anything wrong with it. After all, he was a scientist. When he was researching scientific experiments, he often fell into difficulties. Failure was a common occurrence, so he was so calm. "It doesn't matter?" Yang Ming couldn't help but shrug helplessly after listening. "We came here this time to borrow your phone. I don't know if it's okay." "Of course, I said that when you want to get in touch with the outside world, you can come at any time." Sun Sikong nodded indifferently and said, "But didn't you just call not long ago?" "It's different this time. Lan Ling is going to call her grandmother. Maybe her grandmother has a way to deal with Elder Yu, said Yang Ming. Elder Yu? Okay, then you can call, said Sun Sikong. Yang Ming and Lan Ling didn't hesitate and directly entered the cave. Xia Shui waited by the side. She didn't need to be here for the time being. She came here to accompany Yang Ming and Lan Ling and enjoy the scenery. Lan Ling came to the phone and dialed a phone number. After a while, the call was finally connected. Last time, Lan Ling didn't call home because she left Lan Miao village without the support of most people in Lan Miao village. So, before the matter was resolved, Lan Ling didn't want to contact her grandmother. This was also the reason why she had some stubbornness in her heart. But now, there was really no way, so Lan Ling dialed her grandmother's phone. Hello? Lan Ling's grandmother's voice came from the phone. In the past, there was no cell phone signal near Lan Miao village, so she rarely used the phone. After the satellite phone was installed, she basically didn't use it. Especially Lan Ling's grandmother's phone, she didn't use it much. Therefore, she was a little curious as to who would call her at this time. Grandma, it's me. Ling Ling. When Lan Ling heard her grandma's voice, a strong sense of longing welled up in her heart. Ling Ling? It's you. Grandma Lan was surprised and happy when she heard Lan Ling's voice. Ling Ling, how are you? Are you okay? Ever since you left, there hasn't been any news. Grandma is very anxious, but there's nothing we can do. Grandma, I'm fine. There's no danger for the time being. Lan Ling said, don't worry. I'm with Yang Ming, that's good. It's good that you're fine. You and Elder Yu. Recently, Blue Miao Village did not receive any news about Elder Yu. Of course, Elder Yu would not reveal information about Yang Ming and the others to anyone other than his trusted subordinates. After all, Elder Yu's subordinates were not completely united. There must be people from Blue Miao Village among them, just like how Elder Yu's subordinates were also in Blue Miao Village. Therefore, if Elder Yu wanted to show off, he could only show off to his partner, Dong Jun. He really did not dare to say anything to other people. As a result, Lan Ling's grandma had not received any useful news until now. Elder Yu's matter is what I want to talk to you about. As Lan Ling said this, she told her grandma everything that happened during this period of time in detail, including the initial use of the simplified version of the Herculean voodoo to deal with Elder Yu to the current use of the complete version of the Herculean voodoo to deal with Elder Yu. Both methods could not cause any harm to Elder Yu. This was the reason why Lan Ling was anxious. The complete version of the Herculean voodoo has no effect on him. And you have actually succeeded in refining it? Grandma Lan was a little surprised after listening to Lan Ling's words. In fact, Blue Miao Village was also studying the Herculean voodoo relentlessly, but there was no result. She did not expect Lan Ling to not only succeed in researching the Herculean voodoo, but also the Jin Gang voodoo. However, the most depressing thing was that the complete version of the Herculean voodoo had no effect on Elder Yu's variant Jin Gang voodoo. Yes, it has no effect. Lan Ling said truthfully, it's impossible to deal with Elder Yu using ordinary methods. So, Yang Ming and I want to ask you to think of a way. Otherwise, we will be trapped here and can't get out. Of course, Lan Ling did not mention the flying saucer. If they wanted to leave, they could still escape. However, if they escaped, Yang Ming's mission would definitely not be completed. Moreover, Yang Ming could not leave. After all, he had already formed a grudge with Elder Yu. Even if Yang Ming left, Elder Yu would probably seek revenge, so they had to make a conclusion. What's more, Elder Yu wanted to return to Blue Miao Village. His ambition to control Blue Miao Village had always been there. How could Lan Ling let him succeed? I have to think about this. I have no way now. Grandma Lan said, but give me some time. Let me think of other solutions. Okay, then we will contact you again after a while? Asked Lan Ling, can I call back this number? When I call this number, can I reach you? asked Grandma Lan. Grandma, wait. Let me ask. Lan Ling was not sure if she could reach her by calling this number, so she turned to look at Sun Sikong and asked, Grandpa's son, can you call back this number? Of course, there should be a caller ID there. This phone also has a number, said Sun Sikong. Sun Sikong said. Although this phone can establish contact with aliens, since it can make ordinary calls, it naturally has a transfer number. Okay, Grandma. If you think of a way, can you call this number to find me? Said Lan Ling. Okay, Ling Ling. You and Yang Ming should also pay attention to safety and protect yourselves. Grandma Lan instructed. The call ended. Although Lan Ling's grandmother did not think of a good way for the time being, she was an old person with rich experience in voodoo. She should be able to think of some countermeasures. Perhaps, she could upgrade the Herculean voodoo into the Super Herculean voodoo? Grandpa's son, if my grandmother calls, can you please inform us? Lan Ling turned to ask Sun Sikong. Of course, when there is news, I will inform you. Sun Sikong nodded without hesitation. Chapter 2190. But how do I inform you? Yang Ming was a little puzzled. It's so far away. Does Sun Sikong have other ways to contact me? Hee, since I can receive the signal from your glasses, you can naturally receive the signal I send you. It's just that I haven't used this function yet. Sun Sikong smiled and said, when there is a call, I will inform you and send a flying saucer to pick you up to answer the call. Ah. Yang Ming was slightly stunned and immediately said gratefully, thank you so much, Grandpa's son. It's nothing. In fact, assisting you is what I should do. It's just that my previous research direction was on these application-type technological products. If I were like Dr. Benjamin, specializing in improving the potential of the human body, then it would not be a problem to help you deal with elder you. Sun Sikong said with some regret. Yes. Yang Ming nodded. With Sun Sikong's ability, it was not difficult to study these, but it was not something that could be done overnight, so Yang Ming did not ask him to change his field to study these. Of course, even if it was requested, Sun Sikong's equipment here was limited. There was no way to start the research. Grandpa's son, then we will leave first. Yang Ming hesitated and did not call home again. After all, he had just called before, and there was nothing important. Yang Ming naturally would not call again, even if he missed them. Okay, I will inform you as soon as I have news, said Sun Sikong. After the phone call, Yang Ming, Lan Ling, and Xia Shui left. The longer they stayed here, the easier it was to arouse Elder Yu's vigilance and suspicion, so Yang Ming drove back after finishing his business. In the past few days, Yang Ming and Lan Ling had been waiting for news from Grandma Lan. Although they knew that news couldn't be obtained overnight, they still couldn't help but feel a little anxious. Songjiang City, Huashang District, Yang Ming's villa. Jing Xiaolu came home from work, but she was a little anxious and nervous because today was her birthday. After Jing Xiaolu became the company's chairman, it was naturally impossible for her to celebrate her birthday with her colleagues. The people who knew Jing Xiaolu's birthday were only a few people who were close to Jing Xiaolu in the past. Other people did not know about Jing Xiaolu's birthday at all. Wan Xiaoru happened to be a colleague who knew Jing Xiaolu's birthday. At that time, when Jing Xiaolu first came to the company, Wan Xiaoru took care of her. Of course, since Jing Xiaolu became the vice president, she also transferred Wan Xiaoru to her office to be responsible for her secretary's work. Wan Xiaoru used to do similar secretarial work, so she was familiar with helping Jing Xiaolu. However, today was Jing Xiaolu's birthday. Wan Xiaoru wanted to celebrate Jing Xiaolu's birthday. They agreed to go to Jing Xiaolu's home, but Jing Xiaolu was now living in Yang Ming's home. Although she was the company's chairman outside, she could only be regarded as a small little wife at home. Chen Mengyan and Sun Jia were the decision-makers. She did not dare to bring her colleague home. However, It was not possible to go out to celebrate her birthday because they had agreed before that Chen Mengyan and others would celebrate Jing Xiaolu's birthday at home. So Jing Xiaolu had no choice but to bring Wan Xiaoru home, but she had to ask Chen Mengyan and Sun Jia, "Xiaolu, what's wrong with you? Today is your birthday. Why do you look unhappy?" Chen Mengyan looked strangely at Jing Xiaolu, who was obviously a little uneasy, and asked, "Sister Mengyan." Jing Xiaolu stopped talking. She was very cautious at home. She did not have the previous arrogance and confidence in the company. She felt that it was very good to be recognized by Sun Jia and Chen Mengyan. She never thought that she could have a say at home. "What's wrong?" Chen Mengyan frowned. "If you have something to say, just say it. Why are you so hesitant?" "Actually, the matter is like this. I have a good colleague who wants to celebrate my birthday, but my sisters at home have prepared for me today. I can't go out to eat, but she wants to come home to help me celebrate my birthday. I don't know if I should let her come." Jing Xiaolu said carefully. "Is this the case?" Chen Mengyan couldn't help but laugh after listening. "This is not a big deal. Since she is your good colleague, then let her come home. Then your identities." Jing Xiaolu didn't know how to introduce Chen Mengyan and the others till Wan Xiaoru. After all, Wan Xiaoru should not know the relationship between Yang Ming and Chen Mengyan and the others. Although Wan Xiaoru already knew that Yang Ming was the actual chairman of Ming Yang Entertainment, this was a matter that was publicized before, so Wan Xiaoru was not surprised that Jing Xiaolu took over as the chairman. In her opinion, Jing Xiaolu was Yang Ming's girlfriend, so it was reasonable for her to manage the company. But the relationship between Chen Mengyan and Yang Ming was not easy to explain. "You are talking about this. Anyway, Yang Ming is not here. You can just introduce us as your good friends." Chen Mengyan smiled indifferently. "We will also pretend to be guests and celebrate your birthday at home with you." Thank you, Sister Mengyan," Jing Xiaolu said very emotionally. She didn't expect Chen Mengyan to agree to her request so quickly. She was also willing to be a foil, which made her very surprised. For a long time, Jing Xiaolu was a little cautious in front of Chen Mengyan. After all, she had a bad record. When she was in the cafeteria, she had offended Chen Mengyan. Moreover, she had other boyfriends before. Although they could not be considered boyfriends, their character was not very good, so Jing Xiaolu did not dare to mention anything inappropriate in front of Chen Mengyan. "What is there to thank? We are a family. Besides, today is your birthday. You are the boss." Chen Mengyan smiled and said, "You call your colleagues to come. I will talk to the others. We will all be your friends." "Okay." Jing Xiaolu nodded happily. "You don't look like a chairman at all. I don't know how you convince the people in the company." Chen Mengyan shook her head and smiled bitterly. "You look at Sister Sun Jia. She looks like a chairman." Jing Xiaolu was a little embarrassed. "Isn't it because of the help of Yang Ming's two men? If Brother Bao and Brother Ho weren't here to help, how could I control the situation? I'm so busy today. Sister Mengyan, why don't you talk to Sister Sun Jia and ask her to help me? Anyway, her company in Donghai has been handed over to Tian Donghua to manage. She has nothing to do." Chapter 2191. Although the company was left to Jing Xiaolu by Yang Ming at that time, Jing Xiaolu didn't want to take the company for herself since she moved to the villa. Since everyone was Yang Ming's woman, they all had the same weight and goal, so these things were everyone's. Then, "I will talk to Sister Sun Jia. I don't know if she can help." Chen Mengyan and Lin Jian were still working in Zhang Bin's jewelry company, so they didn't have time to help Jing Xiaolu. At present, only Sun Jia was free. "Okay, thank you, Sister Mengyan. I am going to make a call." Jing Xiaolu ran to call Wan Xiaoru happily. "Sister Xiaolu, you finally called me. My boyfriend and I have bought the gifts. We were just waiting for your call. Luan Xiaoru's voice came from the phone. Although Jing Xiaolu was now the chairman, Luan Xiaoru still called her sister Xiaolu in private. She only called her Miss Jing or Chairman Jing in the company. This was also Jing Xiaolu's request. Otherwise, she only had one friend in the company. If she called her so formally after work, then they couldn't play together. I am at home. Because there will be a lot of friends at home today, I prepared in advance. Jing Xiaolu said, your boyfriend is coming too. Isn't he very busy? No matter how busy he is, he has to come for your birthday. He has to come. Luan Xiaoru said with a smile, where are you? Let's drive over now. In the Huashang district, the first villa in the villa area. It's called Sun Moon Residence, said Jing Xiaolu. Jing Xiaolu wasn't familiar with Luan Xiaoru's boyfriend. In her memory, she had only seen him once or twice. Moreover, it was when he went to the company to deliver things to Luan Xiaoru. At other times, he was nowhere to be seen. She didn't expect that he would have time to attend her birthday party today. Okay, got it. Let's drive over now, said Luan Xiaoru. On Chen Mingyan's side, she had also explained everything properly. Everyone would attend the birthday banquet as Jing Xiaolu's classmates, business partners, and good friends. They would be guests at that time, and Jing Xiaolu would be the owner of this villa. Of course, no one had any opinion. After all, Jing Xiaolu only celebrated her birthday once a year. Everyone's purpose was to make her happy. Everyone's relationship with Yang Ming was known to themselves. There was no need to tell everyone. Soon, there was the sound of the doorbell at the door of the villa. Jing Xiaolu quickly ran over and opened the door of the villa. Sure enough, she saw Luan Xiaoru standing at the door, and her boyfriend had not gotten out of the car yet. He was parking the car in the parking space at the door of the villa that I found it so quickly. At this time, Luan Xiaoru's boyfriend also parked the car. He drove a Lexus LX 570, which made Jing Xiaolu slightly surprised. The price of this car was not low. The total cost was 2 million yuan. Luan Xiaoru's boyfriend was rich. Jing Xiaolu's own BMW X5 was not as expensive as his car. But looking at Luan Xiaoru's usual appearance, she did not spend much money. It made Jing Xiaolu feel that she was also low-key. Miss Jing, happy birthday. After Luan Xiaoru's boyfriend parked the car, he got out of the car with a small box and handed it to Jing Xiaolu. This is for you. It's a gift from Xiaoru and me. Thank you. Jing Xiaolu took the gift and then smiled at Luan Xiaoru. Don't you want to introduce him? I should have introduced him a long time ago, but my husband is too busy. I haven't had a chance to meet him. Luan Xiaoru smiled and pointed to her boyfriend. Sister Xiaolu, his name is Li Buoyang. He works in an import and export trading company. I have heard of your name for a long time, but I haven't seen you in person. Jing Xiaolu smiled and nodded to Li Buoyang. I don't need to introduce myself. Let's go in. The other friends are here too. Okay. Luan Xiaoru and Li Buoyang entered the villa hand in hand. The other girls knew that Jing Xiaolu's good friends were here, so they all stood up to show politeness. Let me introduce these two friends to everyone. After Luan Xiaoru and Li Buoyang entered the house, Jing Xiaolu took the initiative to introduce them. This is Luan Xiaoru. She is a colleague in my company and one of my good friends. This is her boyfriend, Li Buoyang. He works in a trading company. He is tall, rich, and handsome. Luan Xiaoru smiled and greeted everyone. Li Buoyang was about to greet her, but he saw a few acquaintances among Jing Xiaolu's friends. Zhou Jiejia, teacher Xiao. Li Buoyang looked at Zhou Jiejia and Xiao Qin with some surprise. He didn't know why the two of them were here. Li Buoyang, hello. I didn't expect you to remember me. Zhou Jiejia naturally knew Li Buoyang. This person was the president of the Computer Association of Songjiang Industry University. At that time, when she and Yang Ming went to school, this person tried to invite her and Yang Ming to join the association. But later, Zhou Jiejia joined Xiaoqing's research group. Naturally, she had no contact with Li Buoyang. However, everyone was a popular figure in the school's computer department. It was normal to know each other. How can I not remember? Your reputation is like thunder in my ears. Teacher Zhao's proud disciple. Li Buoyang smiled. Buoyang, how are you recently? Xiaoqing also smiled and nodded to him. Xiaoqing was the dean of the school's computer department, and Li Buoyang was the former president of the computer association. The two people would definitely meet often because of work. But later, Li Buoyang graduated and interned, so there was no more contact. Not bad. I work in an import and export trading company. The boss thinks highly of me. He even gave me a car. Li Buoyang smiled and said, I'm not tall, rich, and handsome. The car isn't my own. That is also a potential stock. Jing Xiaolu smiled and said, if your boss didn't think highly of you, it would be impossible to give you such an expensive car. While talking and laughing, Jing Xiaolu introduced the others to Wan Xiaoru and Li Buoyang. Because they were all young people, everyone quickly became familiar with each other. When it was time to eat, the atmosphere of the birthday party became more enthusiastic. However, Li Buoyang was indeed a person with outstanding eloquence. He was eloquent and had a wide range of knowledge. It allowed everyone to gain a lot of knowledge. Right, Sister Xiaolu, why don't I see your boyfriend? Wan Xiaoru suddenly asked. Yeah, I heard from Xiaoru that your boyfriend is a powerful person. I spent a lot of effort to ask for leave from the boss. I wanted to get to know him, but he doesn't seem to be here. Li Buoyang also said with a smile. Chapter 2192. Yang Ming. He has something to do, so he hasn't come back yet. Jing Xiaolu said embarrassedly, next time. When he comes back, let's have a meal together. Yang Ming? This name sounds familiar. He's also from our school, right? Li Buoyang asked after some hesitation. Although he and Jing Xiaolu were not in the same class, they were still considered schoolmates. And he's also from our school. He has participated in several competitions and is quite famous. Jing Xiaolu nodded and said. However, Li Buoyang didn't seem to be interested in these activities. At that time, he was about to graduate and go to find a job for an internship, so he had only heard of Yang Ming. He didn't have any impression of him. Then let's wait for him to come back. We'll get to know him when we have the chance. Zhou Jiejia pursed her lips. She wanted to say that when the Computer Association was recruiting members, she and Yang Ming went together. Li Buoyang was also present at that time. However, it was impossible for Li Buoyang to remember Yang Ming at that time. After all, it was just a chance meeting. There were too many new students. How could he remember them all? As for Li Buoyang knowing Zhou Jiejia, it was because Zhou Jiejia participated in Xiaoqing's research group and was a famous person in the computer department. Therefore, Zhou Jiejia hesitated and didn't say it. After all, if Li Buoyang asked why Zhou Jiejia and Yang Ming went to the Computer Association together, it would be difficult for her to explain. Jing Xiaolu's birthday passed in a lively atmosphere. The only regret was that Bai Hai, Gu Xinyao, and Lu Huamei were not invited. Bai Hai and Gu Xinyao went on a trip, and Lu Huamei was further away. She was also busy with the company's affairs. The entire Lu family's business was managed by her. The workload could be imagined. In the evening, Jing Xiaolu sent Wan Xiaoru and Li Buoyang away and returned to the living room tiredly. Xiaolu, is this Wan Xiaoru your colleague in the company? The others didn't say anything, but Sun Jia asked after some hesitation. Yeah, when I first came to the company, Xiaoru helped me enthusiastically. Later, when I became the chairman, I transferred her to be my secretary. Jing Xiaolu nodded and said. Oh, Then she's an ordinary employee in the company? How much is her monthly salary? Asked Sun Jia. When I was an ordinary clerk, it was more than 2,000, but now that I'm a full-time secretary, it's more than 10,000. Jing Xiaolu said, Sister Sun Jia, why do you ask? Nothing. I just feel that this person doesn't seem like a small office worker. Judging from her eating posture and temperament, she seems like a well-bred young lady who has received special training. Why is she only a clerk? Sun Jia shook her head. Moreover, her boyfriend drives a Lexus LX 570. Is this the car of an ordinary trading company staff? He's at least a vice president or above, right? I'm a little puzzled too, but her boyfriend is really busy. Maybe it's because of his outstanding performance that the boss appreciates him, said Jing Xiaolu. Maybe I'm overthinking. These two people are a bit awkward. Sun Jia frowned. She didn't find anything too strange. It was not impossible for a well-bred young lady to work as an ordinary clerk in the company. It was normal for a particularly powerful employee to be appreciated by the boss with a car worth 2 million yuan. However, when these two people were together, it made Sun Jia feel awkward. It's fine once you get used to it. Xiaoru is still a very good person, said Jing Xiaolu. Right, Meng Yan said that you want me to go to the company to help you? Sun Jia changed the topic and no longer entangled with Luan Xiaoru and Li Buoyang. Yeah, there are a lot of things in the company. Sister Sun Jia, you know, I used to be just an ordinary working girl. It's a little hard to put me in this position all of a sudden. During this time, if it weren't for the help of Brother Bao and Brother Ho, I wouldn't be able to do a lot of things. Said Jing Xiaolu. Alright, then I'll go to the company with you tomorrow. You can just arrange a position for me. Sun Jia nodded and agreed. Anyway, I'll be working for Yang Ming. How can that be? If Sister Sun Jia goes, I'll let you be the chairman, said Jing Xiaolu quickly. Don't. Sun Jia quickly waved her hand and said, just arrange an executive vice president for me. Don't be the chairman. Donghai's Sun family's business has just been managed by Tian Donghua. I just breathed a sigh of relief. I don't want to be too tired. Xiaolu, you're still young. You can't just count on me. Hee, that's fine too. Jing Xiaolu nodded. Early the next morning, Sun Jia and Jing Xiaolu went to the company. This move made the other girls a little surprised. They all knew that Sun Jia was very busy in Donghai's company. Now that she was finally free, she must have a carefree life at home. They just didn't expect her to go to Jing Xiaolu's company the next day. Although Jing Xiaolu was also very surprised, she was still very happy. With Sun Jia's help, she could save a lot of worry. However, no one knew the purpose of Sun Jia going to the company. Only she knew what she was going to do in Jing Xiaolu's company. At Dong Jun's and Huang Youcai's residence, Dong Jun just got the news from Fang Tian that Yang Ming forgave him. He was excited and happy. Since Huang Youcai had also made a decision, the next step was naturally to fully assist Dong Jun to collect, analyze, and research about Dr. Benjamin and the center. Unfortunately, the central structure was too strict. Everyone was only connected through a single line. Even Dong Jun himself had only met a few people from the central when he was carrying out missions. He only knew them because of Dr. Benjamin's recommendation. Otherwise, Dong Jun would never have known that some people were actually part of the central. Although Dong Jun's understanding of Yang Ming before, it was not surprising that Yang Ming could forgive him. But when he heard Yang Ming say to Fang Tian that he forgave him, Dong Jun still had a feeling of escaping from death. It was just that Dong Jun was very puzzled. Wasn't Yang Ming caught by Elder Yu in the valley? Isn't he unable to contact the outside world? How can he still call Fang Tian? This made him feel very strange, but there was hope in his heart. Since Yang Ming could hide from Elder Yu and silently contact Fang Tian, it meant that Yang Ming still had a trump card. Previously, Dong Jun felt that Yang Ming was deliberately caught by Elder Yu, and the current situation proved this, which made Dong Jun very gratified. A phone rang. Dong Jun was slightly stunned and picked up the phone. Not many people knew this phone number. Generally, there were very few people who called, so Dong Jun felt a little strange when he heard the phone ring. Chapter 2193. Dong Jun picked up the phone, glanced at the caller ID above, and frowned suddenly. The caller was actually Elder Yu. For this pretentious guy, Dong Jun had no interest in continuing to chat with him. After all, since Dong Jun intended to leave Dr. Benjamin's center, he had become on the same side as Yang Ming. Therefore, Dong Jun didn't want to maintain a close relationship with Elder Yu. But in order not to let Elder Yu see any flaws and not let Dr. Benjamin doubt him, Dong Jun could only continue to be polite to Elder Yu. After all, Dr. Benjamin asked him to pay attention to Yang Ming's news at all times. If he didn't care about this, then there must be a problem. So after Dong Jun adjusted his mood, he pretended to be very enthusiastic and answered the phone. Hello? Elder Yu? You haven't called me for a long time. Are you a rare guest? Originally, before Elder Yu called Dong Jun, he was still a little nervous. After all, when he called Dong Jun last time, Dong Jun was indifferent. Elder Yu wanted to find someone to show off his results, but this person couldn't be his subordinate. Only Dong Jun was his former collaborator. However, when he heard Dong Jun's enthusiastic voice, Elder Yu was relieved. Perhaps Dong Jun was in a bad mood when he answered the phone last time, so Elder Yu didn't care too much. At least this time, Dong Jun's attitude made him very satisfied. Huh, Falcon, I can hear that you seem to be in a good mood. Elder Yu said with a smile. It's okay. Huh, you don't know. I did a big thing before, said Dong Jun. Oh? What big thing? Elder Yu asked, baffled. I sent the photos of Yang Ming and his woman together to Yang Ming's first wife. At that time, I am afraid that his family will be in chaos, ha 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 ha. Dong Jun deliberately said this in order to show his closeness to Elder Yu. Although he already knew that this matter was successfully resolved by Chen Mengyan and others, he still took it out as a topic to talk about. It turned out to be like this. Huh, you are quite sarcastic. Elder Yu smiled and said, however, what you are doing is not as interesting as what I am doing here. Oh? What have you been up to recently? Dong Jun pretended to be very interested and asked. In fact, Dong Jun already knew about Yang Ming's recent situation from Fang Tian. Huh, let me tell you. As Elder Yu spoke, he told Dong Jun that Yang Ming and the others had plotted several times to deal with him, but they had failed. In the end, he laughed and said, Yang Ming is like a clown in my hands. He can't escape from my palm. They are probably full of hope to deal with me every time, but in the end, it is all in vain. There is no progress at all. So that's how it is. Ha 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 ha, that Yang Ming is really stupid. Dong Jun said so, but he was secretly anxious in his heart. Yang Ming was actually helpless? Doesn't that mean that Yang Ming's method is ineffective, and he can't deal with Elder Yu? Now, Yang Ming's safety was closely related to Dong Jun. If Yang Ming could come back smoothly, it was naturally good. Dong Jun could deal with Central with him. If Yang Ming couldn't come back, then Dong Jun would be miserable. With his own strength, it was impossible to compete with Central. As for Elder Yu, Dong Jun simply didn't think about cooperating with him. The two people were simply in a relationship of pure interest. It was a joke to ask Elder Yu to help deal with Central and Dr. Benjamin. Elder Yu probably wouldn't agree. If the news was leaked out at that time, Dong Jun would be dead. Therefore, Dong Jun didn't think about having a deep relationship with this kind of person who he wasn't sure about. Yeah, how about it? Have you thought about it? Are you coming or not? Let's see how miserable Yang Ming is. Elder Yu once again issued an invitation to Dong Jun. In fact, Elder Yu was also a person with inflated self-esteem. He wanted to show off his achievements to others, but looking at the people around him, he could only show off in front of Dong Jun. As for his subordinates, they were the same flattering and fawning every day, which made Elder Yu lose interest. Therefore, he wanted to make Dong Jun come here to show off how powerful he was to make Yang Ming a fool. Oh. It's okay to go over. Then I will go and see. Dong Jun hesitated and said ambiguously, then, I will prepare here and contact you again. Okay, then I will wait for the good news. Elder Yu nodded and said. What Dong Jun wanted was to discuss with Fang Tian whether to go or not. Moreover, before going, he had to talk to Dr. Benjamin, so Dong Jun couldn't make a decision for a while. However, before Dong Jun could take the initiative to contact Dr. Benjamin's news came first. Looking at the information on the computer screen, Dong Jun quickly adjusted his emotions. He had to be vigilant at all times so that Dr. Benjamin would not notice anything wrong. Falcon, how are things recently? Is there any news about Yang Ming? Asked Dr. Benjamin. Although he didn't know why Dr. Benjamin suddenly became interested in Yang Ming, Dong Jun didn't dare to ask too much. After all, he was just a chess piece in Dr. Benjamin's hands, not an equal existence to Dr. Benjamin. If he asked too much, he would violate the rules of Central. There is news. I got in touch with Elder Yu and asked about Yang Ming's recent situation. As Dong Jun said, he told Dr. Benjamin about what Elder Yu had told him before. Moreover, he even said that Elder Yu invited him to go to Miaojiang to see Yang Ming. Oh. Elder Yu actually asked you to see Yang Ming, said Dr. Benjamin. Did you agree? Not yet. I want to ask for your opinion. If you want me to go, then I will go and see. Said Dong Jun, then you go and see. Remember, pay attention to whether there is anything strange about Yang Ming. The most important thing is whether there is any special ability or something like that. Said Dr. Benjamin. Special ability? Okay. Dong Jun was baffled. Why does Dr. Benjamin suspect that Yang Ming has special abilities? Also, how is your investigation in Songjiang City? Do the people around Yang Ming know if there is anything strange about Yang Ming? Asked Dr. Benjamin. I really didn't pay attention to this. You know, although I tried to contact the people around Yang Ming as senior brother Yang Ming, it needs a gradual process. It is not so easy to contact. Said Dong Jun. Chapter 2194. I know. You don't have to be responsible for this matter. I will arrange for other people to do it. You go and see Yang Ming first. Get in touch with him and see if there is anything strange about Yang Ming. Dr. Benjamin instructed. Okay, I got it. Dong Jun replied, then I will reply to Elder Yu. I will go over now. You don't have to intervene in the things in Songjiang City for the time being. I have already activated other people. Elder Yu said, you can rest assured and contact Yang Ming. You don't have to worry about this side. Ah, the people here are. Dong Jun was shocked. Although he had long suspected that he was not the only person arranged by Central in Songjiang City, it was only a suspicion because Dr. Benjamin never let them contact each other and never mentioned it. But Dr. Benjamin didn't mention it until it was useful. It could be seen how powerful Dr. Benjamin was. Even Dong Jun had never heard of the other people he hid in Songjiang City. However, if these people were not clear, Dong Jun was a little worried. What if his contact with Yang Ming was discovered by these people? Even if he was careful, it was also a very painful thing to have someone monitoring him. Falcon, you are not a newcomer. You grew up in Central since you were a child. Don't you know the rules of Central? Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. Dr. Benjamin said sternly. Yes. Doctor, I don't mean anything else. I just want to hand over to him and share with him my experience of Yang Ming these days. Dong Jun was shocked and said with cold sweat. You have to know that when you should be contacted, you will naturally be contacted. Don't ask about things that you shouldn't be contacted. Dr. Benjamin said. I understand. Dong Jun said in fear and trepidation. Well, you can contact Elder Yu yourself. Let me know when to depart, said Dr. Benjamin. Yes, doctor. Dong Jun said quickly. Seeing the end of the dialogue box, Dong Jun broke out in a cold sweat. He was almost suspected by Dr. Benjamin. If he really suspected anything, it would not be worth it. Thinking of this, Dong Jun secretly decided that he would never ask anything that he shouldn't ask in the future. Otherwise, if Dr. Benjamin really found out something was wrong in advance, then things would get out of hand. In the evening, Dong Jun came to Fang Tian's house in the dark. Since he knew that Dr. Benjamin still had people in Songjiang City, Dong Jun had become more cautious. He followed the principle of being careful and making no mistakes. He avoided being found out before he completely fell out with Dr. Benjamin. You're here? Fang Tian saw Dong Jun come in and nodded to him. Master. I got some latest news about Yang Ming from Elder Yu, so I came to discuss it with you. Dong Jun said. Oh. What news? Fang Tian asked curiously. After all, Yang Ming had just called not long ago. It's like this. As Dong Jun spoke, he repeated Yang Ming's encounter in Miaojiang and what Elder Yu said to Fang Tian. According to Elder Yu, Yang Ming can't compete with him at all. He is just playing with Yang Ming with a playful attitude, and Yang Ming is defeated again and again, really? Fang Tian's face changed slightly after hearing it. When Yang Ming called before, he confidently told Fang Tian that they already had a way to deal with Elder Yu. But now it seemed that this method did not work. Elder Yu was better, and Yang Ming and others ended in failure. Elder Yu shouldn't lie. Dong Jun said, and he also invited me to go to Miaojiang to see Yang Ming's frustrated look after his failure. I guess he wants to show me how powerful he is, so this matter can't be fake. So, Yang Ming is in danger. Fang Tian sighed and said without worry, it turns out that it's not us who have a trump card, but Elder Yu also has his trump card. This is natural. Elder Yu is not a fool. It is definitely impossible for him not to guess how Yang Ming wants to deal with him. Dong Jun nodded and said, but, I am thinking, even if I go to Miaojiang, how can I help Yang Ming? This is also true. Fang Tian smiled bitterly. Are you complaining that I didn't teach you the ability of an assassin? How can it be? Dong Jun quickly shook his head and said, Master, you and Yang Ming can let me go this time. It is already a great kindness. How can I complain? Besides, even if I master the ability of an assassin, it is naturally no problem to deal with ordinary people. But in the face of a higher level, such as Elder Yu, a mutated guy, what is the use of the ability of an assassin? He is invulnerable. He is a complete monster. This is the most troublesome problem. Fang Tian smiled bitterly. Suddenly, his eyes lit up and asked, can't you poison him? If you go to Miaojiang, you should have a chance to contact Elder Yu. Can you poison him to death? This seems to be impossible. I heard Elder Yu boast to me before that Jin Gang Voodoo is invulnerable to external attacks. It is also invulnerable to internal attacks. Ordinary poisons have no effect on him. Dong Jun said, if it can be poisoned, Yang Ming probably would have thought of it. That is a headache. Fang Tian also frowned. He didn't know what to do. Forget it. Anyway, I have to go to Miaojiang. Dr. Benjamin also asked me to go. Dong Jun said, now I am not worried about how to deal with Elder Yu. After all, that is Yang Ming's matter. It is useless for us to worry about it. What I am worried about is whether the other people that Dr. Benjamin arranged here will affect our plan. Another person arranged? Fang Tian nodded and said, I will pay attention to this. I will do my best to see if I can find out. But if it is too secretive, then I can't do anything. After all, the people trained by Dr. Benjamin are not trivial. I found out about your problem a long time ago. Master, please don't scold me. Aren't you mocking me? Dong Jun smiled bitterly. That's fine. Then I will reply to Elder Yu. I will prepare in these few days and go to Miaojiang. But you must be careful. Don't let Elder Yu see it. You and Yang Ming have actually resolved your grievances. Fang Tian said this and was worried. Now I can't contact Yang Ming. If I can contact Yang Ming, I should inform him in advance. Chapter 2195. That's true. Let's say hello to avoid being exposed. If he forgives me directly in front of Elder Yu, then it will be a big deal. Dong Jun also nodded. It's just that when Yang Ming called last time, there was no caller ID. Maybe he used some kind of hidden method. I can't contact Yang Ming again. Fang Tian said with regret. Yang Ming called using Sun Sikong's phone. Under normal circumstances, although this phone had a normal line number, it could also broadcast to an alien planet, so the caller ID was not displayed under normal circumstances. However, in order to let Lan Ling's grandmother contact him, Yang Ming deliberately told her the normal transfer number of this phone. As for Fang Tian and others, Yang Ming didn't think about letting them call him at all. After all, he wasn't next to the phone, so it was useless to call. This is a big problem. If I don't tell Yang Ming in advance, I'm afraid there will be a problem at that time. Dong Jun said with concern. Although I don't think Yang Ming is so stupid, if you really want to contact Yang Ming, then I can recommend two people to you. You can go to them. Maybe you can find Yang Ming's phone number. Fang Tian hesitated and said. Who are they? Dong Jun asked quickly. Xiao Qing and Zhou Jiejia. Fang Tian said, both of them are computer experts. If you look for them, you should be able to find out which number Yang Ming used to call. Okay, then I'll go to them. Dong Jun was reminded by Fang Tian and also remembered that there were two computer geniuses around Yang Ming. Last time, he was pulled out from behind the scenes by Fang Tian and Wang Xiaoyan because Xiao Qing and Zhou Jiejia cracked the phone's chip and found his contact information. Therefore, thinking of this, Dong Jun was full of confidence in them. Although there were similar computer experts in the center, Dong Jun couldn't ask them to do this kind of thing. Dr. Benjamin would definitely doubt his purpose. Thinking of this, Dong Jun bid farewell to Fang Tian and drove to Yang Ming's home. Today, Sun Jia had been working at Ming Yang Entertainment for a week. During this week, she helped Jing Xiaolu do a lot of things, and she was also very familiar with Luan Xiaoru. After all, as someone who was also trusted by Jing Xiaolu, Sun Jia and Luan Xiaoru had no less opportunities to interact with each other than Jing Xiaolu. Luan Xiaoru used to take a bus or a taxi to work every day, but since her boyfriend Li Buoyang showed his economic strength that day, Luan Xiaoru drove her new car in less than 2 days. It was a Mercedes-Benz GLK. Although the price was not as expensive as Li Buoyang's Lexus LX 570, it was still a good car among the white-collar workers in the company. One had to know that most of the employees who worked in the entertainment company drove a car that cost around 100,000 yuan. A Mercedes-Benz that cost 400,000 yuan was already the car of the department manager. However, as Jing Xiaolu's full-time secretary, Luan Xiaoru was not too conspicuous driving a car worth more than 400,000 yuan. After work today, they agreed that Luan Xiaoru would come to the house for dinner, and Jing Xiaolu also said that she would invite all her friends from her previous birthday. Of course, this proposal was not proposed by Jing Xiaolu, but by Sun Jia. If it were Jing Xiaolu herself, Jing Xiaolu would definitely not be so troublesome. After all, she was not the one who called the shots at home. With Chen Mengyan and Sun Jia, how could it be her turn to treat? However, today's matter was proposed by Sun Jia, so although Jing Xiaolu was surprised, she still followed Sun Jia's intention and invited Luan Xiaoru back home. The car was parked in the courtyard, but just as the three people's car was parked, another Ferrari sports car stopped in front of the villa, and Dong Jun came out of the car. Sun Jia was slightly stunned after seeing Dong Jun. She didn't expect him to come here today. Dong Jun was also slightly stunned. He didn't expect that in addition to Sun Jia and Jing Xiaolu, there was actually an outsider present. Is he here as a guest? Sun Jia gave Jing Xiaolu a wink. Jing Xiaolu understood and quickly introduced, Xiaolu, this is Dong Jun, a good friend of my boyfriend, Yang Ming. He is also a friend that I invited. As Jing Xiaolu spoke, Sun Jia also gave Dong Jun a wink. How smart was Dong Jun? He immediately understood Sun Jia's meaning. Most likely, this person called Xiaolu was a friend of Jing Xiaolu, and Luan Xiaolu didn't know the relationship between Sun Jia and Yang Ming. So Dong Jun smiled slightly and nodded to Luan Xiaolu. Hello. Hello, Dong Jun. My name is Luan Xiaolu. Luan Xiaolu said politely to Dong Jun. Since there were guests present, Dong Jun couldn't say much. He followed Sun Jia and the others into the house, pretending to be Jing Xiaolu's friend, and sat at the table. Originally, Dong Jun wanted to study Yang Ming's matter with the women, but because Luan Xiaolu was present, he naturally couldn't talk about these topics. Therefore, he just talked about the trivial things in life with everyone at the dinner table and smiled in agreement. However, Dong Jun didn't know why. When he looked at Luan Xiaolu, he felt a little awkward and incongruous, but Dong Jun couldn't tell exactly what was incongruous. Xiaolu, Yang Ming said before that you are really elegant when you eat. He is not wrong at all. You see, although we are all eating, you eat the most refined and well-behaved, as if you have received professional training. Jing Xiaolu smiled and teased. Not at all. I just like to imitate after watching too many TV series. Luan Xiaolu said with a smile. However, Jing Xiaolu's words gave Dong Jun a flash of inspiration. Professional training. Yes, no wonder she is so familiar. When Alice eats, she is also very well-behaved and generous like Luan Xiaolu. However, before Alice debuted, she received strict training in the center, and so did I. Could it be that this Luan Xiaolu has also received similar training? However, thinking of this absurd speculation, Dong Jun shook his head again. It should be impossible. After all, this Luan Xiaolu is just a secretary in Jing Xiaolu's company. What's the use of training this thing? After the meal, Luan Xiaolu got up and left. Dong Jun also pretended to leave, but Dong Jun went out and walked around before he came back again. Sorry, I didn't expect you to come today. I invited a colleague here to eat. Sun Jia nodded to Dong Jun, who came back again. It doesn't matter. Dong Jun shook his head. This is other people's home. They can invite whoever they want to. Dong Jun naturally couldn't interfere with this. This colleague is a bit strange. She is like a lady. You're tuning into the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.